What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Banner Report podcast. New York, do you believe in miracles? Yes, you do. Um, we are coming to you on the 16th of June. The Knicks are your NBA champions for the year of 2025-2026. They take home the title after a 53-year hiatus. Jaylen Brunson wins the Finals MVP. Best Knicks Finals performance ever. I mean, he scored 45 points, and the rest of the team scored 49 in an elimination game, and he essentially sealed his Hall of Fame resume in one game and in one series, really. Even though he wasn't great from, he was all right, but he was a little bit inefficient for much of the series. But in Game
That only
5, it
matters for
was
Tatum. The
yeah,
efficiency comp only matters for one man and one man alone. It's Jason Tatum.
yeah. Some stars get held to a different standard. Who knows why? But when you win a finals for the first time in 53 years and bring it to a city like New York, you deserve nothing but praise right now. We can get into critiques of your game later, although I really have nothing bad to say about Brunson. He's just a beast. He's just a beast. Spurs, obviously the better team to me still. I will go to my grave thinking they were the better team, even though they lost the series. I mean, you don't win 62 games on accident. They were young. They didn't have enough scheming to work their way out. Offense went cold. Wemby got tired. Castle got lost. And Fox didn't show up in the last series, which killed them. Guys, I threw basically a summation of the finals at you. What do you got for me?
The Knicks are just a team that you can't ever be comfortable with the lead, because obviously they didn't get the job done last year, but that was basically our series versus them last year. Exactly. All the L's we had was exactly how the Spurs were going down, just kind of taking the foot off the gas, and then the Knicks clutching up. But yeah, I mean, it felt like, I feel like what everyone's saying right now is just like the Spurs are too young. You can really point to two games where it was straight up just a bonehead decision at the end that lost them the game. And the Knicks just didn't have that happen. Obviously the Wemby off Castle's back, and then the Fox layup. And I'm sure there are other ones. There's a lot of that going on where like you're saying, they might have been the better team, but not ready to win the championship, it felt like.
No, it felt a lot, and we talked about it last week, right? It felt a lot like when the Celtics played the Warriors in 22. It's like the team that's been full of savvy veterans and has an elite point guard going against the Young Bucks, who are probably the more talented team, 1 through 9, but will come up short because of veteran antics or whatever. But this Knicks team is special. Like, I think you said it exactly right, Jacob. Like, you can never feel comfortable with a lead. That's how I will always remember the Brunson Knicks. Partially because they killed my team in one playoff series by just mounting unbelievable comebacks. You could have 30 points with 8 minutes left and you cannot feel comfortable.
No.
Because they're going to put it to you. The shots start to fall. The defense is nails, and they're all over the place. And Brunson, like I said, if he can get it to within a punching distance, it's game time for him. That's how I'll remember this Knicks, the cardiac Knicks, right? Like you can never, no lead is safe when you're playing the Jaylen Brunson New York Knicks. And there's a lot of things to talk about within the series. Where do the Spurs go? I mean, De'Aaron Fox we thought Chet was gonna have the worst offseason. And he deserves to have a bad offseason for how he played. But De'Aaron Fox getting paid a lot more money than Chet Holmgren to be a damn near liability in the biggest series of his life. And now this talks about what do the Spurs do this offseason, especially when Vassell comes up right after they lose in Game 5, and he talks about how Dylan Harper was a bit frustrated all year with his role. And Harper, for all intents and purposes, was the second best player for the Spurs the entire playoffs. That kid was about it. And when the offense went cold, he managed to find it himself. And he probably does deserve a bigger role. Straight up. I don't know how that contract is huge for Fox, one of the biggest in the NBA. He is only 26, going to be 27, I imagine. He's still young. He's still a good player. I believe in the player still. I know he shit the bed, but I do believe in that guy. He possesses a lot. He possesses capabilities that can justify the contract. Um, I don't know what they do. Who's going to be looking to
Yeah.
add that money to the books that thinks they're one De'Aaron Fox away from a title?
Yeah. No, I mean, it could be worse. Like his money could interfere with these new guys' contracts. Like we talked in previous pods. At least doesn't do that. Like it lines up that they can just let him go and not have to like decide between Harper and Fox outright on the team. I think if they can't find a suitor this offseason, they'll probably just have to have a lot of internal talks about them basically like Harper getting more of a share of Fox's minutes. Like I think if they don't trade, I don't know if they will trade. I just think they'll have to change their scheme a bit when it comes to Harper and Fox. I think that's the most realistic outcome because they all talk pretty glowingly about Fox. Like sure, Harper did voice his frustrations, but also at the same time they're all gloating about Fox and saying that it wasn't a mistake to trust him and such. But yeah, I don't. A trade could happen. It could be fun, but I think they're just going to run it back and just kind of
Yeah.
retool, like readjust.
I think people. It's funny how fast the NBA media moves in the playoffs and series to series, game to game, really. But the Spurs probably aren't in the finals without Fox. They probably lose to the Thunder if they didn't have his veteran. Right, he is the veteran on one of them, 26 years old, veteran on the team, and he was able to kind of stop the bleeding. When they were turning the ball over left and right. I mean, Castle leading you off. He's not a point guard. Dylan Harper's young and he's going to turn the ball over, especially playing against a team like OKC. And Fox came in and was able to stop that bleeding, and they ended up winning the series. You live by him, you die by him, right? But I just, the thing that's like kind of putting the gas on the, putting the foot on the gas to me for the Spurs is the fact that do you really want to be putting Harper off the bench? Yeah, he is young. He's going to be 21, 22 next year. Like, but so he has time to develop, and Lord knows what he's going to become. But he's good enough to start now, and he's already voicing how he's frustrated with this role and how it maybe kind of didn't set him up for the most success down the latter half of the year. And that's like, you're not going to pick De'Aaron Fox over Dylan Harper. I don't imagine, unless you're batshit. But so if there's internal grumblings and the player becomes unhappy, then it becomes like, okay, we do have to move this guy. Other than that, I think it would be a little foolish to do anything serious. I mean, maybe they can find some, wing help somewhere. They should have money. Well, I don't know. Maybe they won't.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like Johnson's gonna have to channel his inner Pop and really um, sit down Fox and just be like, hey, I convinced Manu Ginobili, Pop convinced Manu Ginobili to come off the bench. It was for different circumstances, not because Manu would mess things up or because of like the fit and all. Like Manu could have started, but just the value of having like your third best player off the bench is definitely huge. Just I don't know, convince Fox to really take ownership of the second unit, almost like how Pritchard does now. I feel like Pritchard went to starting and loved it, and then kind of went back and was like, I actually kind of fuck with riding off the bench. You know what I mean? Like Pritchard, it seemed like Pritchard at the end of the year was kind of happy to be off the bench and started like killing it way more, if anything.
It's pretty hard to justify paying a guy $240 million to be your sixth man.
It is.
You
You just know you're
Pritchard's getting 7 a year.
Harper's gonna be that guy though. He's just can't because he's like in his rookie contract. But you can at least talk yourself into that. Like, sure, like we're paying one more than the other right now. But Harper, if we could just extend Harper right now, we might. To be honest,
Yeah.
but I definitely know what you're saying. It feels off money wise.
Yeah, I mean, then it becomes like the ownership being like, what are we doing? Like, we can't find a guy to replicate this off the second unit for he's 20 million a year or something. But and also it was a problem, right? The offense got real stagnant at points, and the ball turnovers were an issue the whole time. But Wemby got tired. They didn't have any wing play really, besides like one good Keldon Johnson game. That's going to be an issue, especially going against the Knicks, which I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. And then at the very least, you got the Celtics, who are they're two players, and we'll talk about the Giannis implications. They can play wing. So, Steve, Your San Antonio Spurs, man. What do you got?
Couldn't have been any more wrong about that. I mean, picking Spurs in 6, and they didn't even get fucking 2 games won. Never mind.
We all did. We all picked them. We were
Yeah.
all wrong. We all doubted the Knicks, and you know what? 10 times out of 10, I probably would have done it. You know.
I mean, look, I think like you're almost in a win-win, lose-lose spot for the Spurs. Because if you trade Fox for something and it doesn't work out, then you just trade away a guy who could help you out. If you don't trade him, you're pissing off Dylan Harper, and you could be stuck with him laying another lemon in the playoffs again, you know? He was playing on a bum ankle, so you got to give him some credit for that. But
And shooting is particularly bad on a bad ankle.
like but his shooting was just abysmal, and he just kept chucking him up there too, which was the tough part. Like if you're not hitting him, you got to stop chucking him up there like that. You got to get somebody else involved. I think they really do need to trade him for some wing help. I mean, Keldon Johnson went from like 13 points a game to 4 in the playoffs. Like that can't happen. Like your 6-man can't drop off that much.
Barnes was a no-show. He was their other reliable wing.
I mean, Barnes is like 45 years old.
They still have Carter Bryant coming up through the wing, so you imagine that a lot of that help is going to come from him next year.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I figure you can get a wing and maybe a pick or two for Fox, like just something to bolster what you got going right now, because you don't need to blow anything up. Obviously, you just need to retool. And I think next year, I think they're gonna if Wemby's health is still good, I think they're gonna push him to play some more minutes during the regular season next year, because you could tell at the end of a lot of these games, the playoffs, he was gassed because he's playing 30 minutes a game in the regular season and is bumping it up to 42 of playoff physicality basketball with not a lot of time off. And Mitch Johnson's got to do a better job of finding minutes for him to rest during the game too, because like he's waiting until the fourth quarter, and it's like, all right, when we're taking you out for 45 seconds, it's like that's not enough time for you to catch your breath and help anything at that point. Like you might as well just hack somebody and let them sit there at the free throw line instead of wasting time out to get them out.
I mean, and part of that, it's not just Mitch Johnson's fault for that. It's particularly the second unit is really bad.
Yeah, no, for sure they're going to give up a run, but like you got to time it so that they give up that run in the second quarter or the third quarter, and you have time to come back. You can't take them on the fourth quarter for 45 seconds and give up a 6-3 run or a 10-8, 10-4 run or whatever, and then you just gave up your lead, and then Wemby has to come right back in without getting any break. Like you want to give up that run in the second quarter, and then have Wemby come back in after sitting for 5 minutes or whatever. Like give him a little bit more rest early, and then work your way back into the game if you need to. Don't do it at the end of the game when you're running out of time.
Yeah, I mean, if the Knicks have proved anything against the Celtics and against the Spurs and against basically every other team they play besides the Cavs, you can go up 30 in the second half on them, and they're not going to break a sweat.
They just keep doing what they're doing. They're the rock that doesn't stop rolling forward. Honestly, like it's like whatever game plan they went with, they're just going to keep going with it all the way first through fourth quarter. It doesn't matter.
And Brunson said, he's like, I don't know why we're this way. I feel like we just start the game 30 minutes after tip off, and we do what has to be done. And that's damn right. They do what has to be done and then some. Interesting what you said about Wemby managing his time. I don't think I don't know what Wemby can do. I don't think it's an issue of his conditioning. I don't think it's an issue of his body failing him or anything. I mean, he's 22 and his body is huge.
I really think it's conditioning. Like we watched him. He's missing free throws in the fourth quarter of games. He's not going to the rim in the fourth quarter games anymore. He's taking jumpers. Like, and it's not his fault. Like he was on a minutes restriction all this year. Last year he had the blood clots. Like, it's not his fault that he's just never played 40. Like the first time he ever broke 33 minutes a game was in the playoffs. Like he didn't do it ever in the NBA before that.
But Steve, is there some credence to the fact that he's so big and he's so active on both ends of the floor that he's just a 30 minutes a game guy? Like
he could get up to more than 30 minutes a game. I think you can push him to 30.
I know you saw him try, and he was out of gas.
Well, he could do it, but I'm saying like I think he could do it efficiently at 38 to 40 minutes a game. I think he can do that, but like they're pushing him to 42 minutes a game without ramping him up at all. Like he went from 30 minutes a game in the regular season to like in the playoffs was immediately 40 minutes a game. It's like, all right, you have 10 more minutes. And it's playoff basketball too. Like the NBA tries to tell you there's not a difference between playoff basketball whistle and
Yeah.
regular season. Like, no, they're beating the shit out of him for 40 minutes straight every night. Like, you saw what Alvarado was doing to him. You saw what everybody was doing to him all playoffs long. So, like, if he can get his conditioning up a little bit better, which is like, if anybody could do it, it's him. Like, he's gonna be able to do it. It's just whether or not the Spurs are gonna let him play more minutes next year. Like,
but like, I
and
wouldn't
don't
want
blame him.
Wemby to lose weight. I wouldn't want him to lose. I want him to go the other way. If anything, I want him to get like not bulkier, but
Yeah.
physically add a little bit more muscle to protect him. Like, so but that's going to make his gas tank smaller in theory.
Yeah.
Because you're just moving more weight. And so I just don't know with a guy that size, like I don't want him to lose any weight to go from like whatever he is, 250 pounds, a 7'4", but he's really 7'7". I don't want him to go up 10 or down 10, really, like, because I don't think that's going to be the answer. I think, Steve, you partially nailed it, that they have to manage his minutes better. In game, depending on the matchup, like if you know that the Knicks are you're playing the Knicks one night, like maybe get him some rest in the second, like you said. And then, he can play the whole fourth quarter or whatever. I don't.
Well, when I
it's
say
so
like
hard to say that when the second unit can't score. You can't score a bucket when he's not on the floor.
Yeah, when I say his conditioning, I don't want him to really change his body, like, really at all. Like, maybe put on a couple pounds of muscle, but nothing crazy. Like, I don't want him to lose weight or go the other way and turn into Dwight Howard in his, like, 4th and 5th years in the league. Like, I don't want him to do any of that. I just, like, think cardio-wise and just being on the court and playing more will help him out a lot. Just to get used to that load, like, that many minutes. Because,
Pause.
like, in a game, like, fourth quarter, like, we saw it all playoffs. Like, there was a lot of fourth quarters where he kind of just faded, which I can't blame him for that. It was not for lack of work ethic. Like, we know that guy works as hard as anybody in the league. So that's just what it was. I mean, you're only playing 30 minutes a night. You're not going to be used to playing 40.
True. Maybe you're right. It's just
But,
also the fact that Luke Cornett. I mean, I love Luke. Always will love him. He's forever Boston guy for winning the title here. He just wasn't. He didn't cut it. He wasn't the same Luke Cornett that I've seen.
no, it was a tough matchup for him. I mean, trying to get out there with Cat, and then when Cat's not out there, Mitchell Robinson is a big bruiser. We saw him struggle with that in Boston too. Like, you nailed it right on the head too. Like, that second unit also has to help him out. Like, in the minutes that Wemby's not out there, like, they got to find something. That's where I think that a good scoring wing, they can maybe take even a little bit of pressure off him even when Wemby's on the court, to not be the only guy. Like,
yeah.
And you're also got to look at, like, Stephon Castle's going to get better. Like, we're all assuming that Stephon Castle, Carter Bryant, and Dylan Harper are all going to get better next year too. And that's where the Fox conundrum comes in, because, like, do I want to stagnate this guy's development, who is clearly, like, one of those guys, like, from what we saw in the playoffs with Dylan Harper? Like, do we want to stagnate that by keeping him,
or at the very least slow it down?
Like, it's I don't know how you can do that. I don't know how you can run this back next year doing that and then not see a problem with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously the match made in heaven for a deal for Fox, we talked about it off the pod, was probably the Houston Rockets. But at one, like, it's almost like a cold war between the two. It's like, why would I want to make the Spurs better? Well, why would I want to make the Rockets better? Rockets obviously have a glaring hole at point guard. Had it all year. They never addressed it, and that's why they got bounced early. Fox would come in and immediately fix a lot of problems that offense had. And they have a plethora of wings, by the way, that they could, like, move one off of for that price and cap space, because they are also a young team. I don't know how many picks they have, but that's besides the point.
They probably don't have enough after trading for KD. That's usually how that goes. Didn't they give up like 4 or 5 first-round picks?
That might have been the Phoenix Suns trade.
So. I was going to say, I forget exactly.
That might have been a little bit farther back.
I did see one interesting trade proposal that who knows if it could happen, but it for the Raptors, like for Ingram and Podol, because they don't really, the Raptors are a really oddly built team, and I think they're also just willing to take risks, like maybe Fox, but like they don't have a point guard, and they have a weird wing mix that might not work for the future, like having Barnes,
BI
RJ
and
and Ingram.
Yeah.
And then like they just have Quickly basically as their only guard at all, and he's not really a point guard, and he's never healthy.
Well, they have Quickly. They have that guy Shed, and that's about it for their guards. I mean, RJ Barrett's a tweener, but he ain't no point guard.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Like, they're a team at least that could do it. And they're on win now. They're like, who knows? Like that they would make the playoffs again, but they're not on win now necessarily. But the Raptors kind of do funky stuff every once in a while, and it'd be interesting to see Ingram on, and then having Jakob as your backup center then too, because that matches the money if you add both of those. And then the Spurs would send like a bunch of picks and Fox.
The Kings are always available, and they have Levine and DeRozan. Bring DeRozan back to San Antonio.
Yeah, he did well. In that
although Fox back to Sacramento would be funny.
In that IQ game, no, the 82-0 game, you realize that DeMar had a pretty good stat line on the 2010s Spurs. That's for sure. He did. He's probably loved there, honestly.
I mean, he'd be a great second unit guy to help them with some wing scoring off the, like, when the offense goes. Just let him pound the ball and then take a spinning fadeaway in the post. Just an automatic bucket. That's how his career is. It's also funny that you bring up IQ because I was reading on Reddit today at my job. Don't tell my boss about like the Knicks drafting for about 10 years, going back to 2014. Obviously, their best pick ended up in that stretch of years ended up being Kristaps Porzingis in terms of raw talent, but they only had him for 3.5 years. But IQ, they ended up trading for essentially at the 25th pick. They got IQ in a bunch of trades. And he ended up being sort of the linchpin for this whole thing in the trade for OJ and Anunoby. He ends up playing a role somehow in the Knicks winning a championship. So it was the best value pick they got in those past 10 years. Other than that, it was pretty abysmal drafting for the Knicks.
Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson is the only one he's the only one who stuck around.
Yeah, I mean, they like I said, they didn't draft quickly, but they traded for him on draft night. RJ Barrett, Kristaps still. These guys there's players that they drafted, but they shouldn't have been either drafted that high or they didn't stick very long on the team. But that all comes out in the wash when you make maybe the best free agency signing of all time and adding Jaylen Brunson for like $88 million on a risk deal for both the player and the team.
But Brunson can play as bad as anybody, and he's going to get a max contract as soon as this one's up. Like you brought a title to New York. You got the Finals MVP. Your dad's one of the coaches. Your Leon Rose, I think, was his godfather. He's in the front office. Patrick Ewing's like your uncle. Like he's getting paid out regardless. Like the only thing he could do to get paid is like slap James Dolan's wife or something like that. Like that's about all he could do to not get paid.
Yeah, that guy's such a worm. He probably be like, "It's okay, Jalen.
It's okay, Jalen. I do it all the time, anyways."
Allegedly, or don't. That's not true. That's a joke. Yeah, and that brought up another interesting thought I had. Jaylen Brunson and Luka was, obviously they played together. They were drafted by the same team, neither of which are still on the Mavericks, but it makes you like I think the Mavericks clearly decided that they didn't. Brunson was a good player, especially a second unit player, and he wanted to get paid relatively well. I mean, he ended up taking $88 million over like 3 or 4 years or some shit, I think, to be a second unit guy for the Knicks. But they made a choice to take essentially keep Luka over that, and they ended up trading him. It just makes you think like the sliding doors of that, and who would you rather have going forward? Who's the better player? Right? Like I think in terms of talent, we all think Luka's the better player. Right?
Yeah, Luka's never had a roster like this. That's for sure.
No, I mean you put Luka on this team might not have lost a game.
I mean, he did play with Kyrie Irving. That's better than anybody Jalen's play with.
Better than Karl Anthony
It depends
Towns.
what you mean better though. Like better as in like suiting his game and winning in the finals. Like I'd honestly like who's more impactful? I don't know. Like Kat or Kyrie. You know what I mean? Like Kat just had like the highest plus minus ever in the playoffs.
Yeah, and he's a big and stretch big. Especially, he's probably the best stretch big to ever play the game. So
like, Think about the front court and wings we faced in the finals versus the Mavs.
Yeah, it's like
Dwight
Jesus, what's his
Powell's
name?
out there getting minutes. Like
Derek Jones Jr. Dude,
Derek
Jones
Jones
Jr.
Jr.,
started.
yeah.
He started, bro, at power forward.
He still plays power forward. He's still listed as power forward. I'm like, a 6'5" power forward. No,
So
I mean,
skinny.
I get it. He's a freak athlete, but he ain't no
Yeah.
power forward.
no, I mean like.
But isn't that more of a testament to Luka being like, he's
Oh, yeah.
the better player, right?
That's what we're saying. Like if you put Luka on this Knicks team, like, I don't think they lose a game for the whole. I think they might go 16-0 and just sweep everybody because like
it would have been really interesting.
You've only ever seen Luka get held like to that level of inefficiency like once, and that was against the Celtics. And it's like, all right, like that was the perfect storm of defense against him, where it was like, that's a team that switches 1 through 5 like that. The 2024 Celtics defensively don't get enough credit for as good as they were. Like,
100%. We were the still the most dominant team to win the finals in the decade. Well, besides, yeah. We were the best team to win the finals in the decade.
2017 Warriors, like that was.
Well, that was last decade.
I thought you meant just the last 10 years combined. Okay, no, this decade for sure.
Well, I mean, you have this Knicks team, and you have the Thunder. Those are like the two teams giving you a run for the money.
But yeah, like I was saying, like I think that Luka on this team is just a different animal. Like I can't put Brunson in the Luka conversations yet. I mean, Bill Simmons is putting him top 50 all time. I think he's like the third best Knick to ever play. So like I don't know how we're all of a sudden going to jump him up to top 50 when he's not even the number one guy in his own franchise.
You don't think he has a case for best Knick ever now?
I mean, Frazier's got two championships, and Willis Reed's got 2 Finals MVPs. Like,
it's a different era.
Still got him.
We haven't had a repeat champion this entire decade.
Yeah, that's true. But that team was a repeat champion, so like we got to give him credit for doing it.
Smaller league, not as many teams, not as There's right. I hear you. In the
70s, it wasn't that much different. It wasn't like they were playing 6 teams in the 70s. Like it was still in the mid 20s at least.
Yeah, well, we're talking about adding 2 more. That's just some more teams you have to be.
Yeah, I mean, look at the fucking shitters at the bottom of the fucking conferences. That's the 2 teams you added.
Jalen has time. He'll just have to he'll have to rack up like a longer career as a Knick too, like being like more more all NBAs, more All Stars. Like he's kind of relatively fresh as a star in general at this point. Like the fact he's already got a title is kind of crazy. He's only had 3 All-Star years so far. So like if he racks them up a bit more the next 4 or 5 years, I think he definitely would have a case. He's definitely in the conversation regardless though.
I mean,
because the title alone.
The full case for Jalen being the best Knick ever, right? Like the context matters here, right? Reed won 2. He probably won't have the stats, whatever you want to call it. You can make arguments on stats all you want, but the fact that he broke a 53-year curse is the case. He brought to New York, and like the way he's been adopted he brought them back from the dead. The NBA's top 3 premier franchises was dead. Bulls, I'm looking at you. You're still dead. Hopefully you won't be. But in the biggest market for sure, and they brought them back to life, and they won a championship, and it's been 53 years since that happened, and that context is part of the resume. Yeah, he probably has a lot of work to go, statistically, accolade-wise, all that stuff. But this is a pretty big feather in the cap already.
It's pretty crazy the margin, the razor thin margin of difference between winning this championship and losing this championship, because they were losing for 72% of the games.
I saw that, yeah. Yeah, the Spurs had they won 72% of the NBA Finals, and they lost in 5 games.
Yeah, so like it's so razor thin. Like, because like if they lost this finals, Jalen Brunson's going down as a playoff choker with how inefficient he was and everything. Like, there's no way that anybody can look at that team and go, like, oh, well, Jalen Brunson did what he had to do. Like, no, like if they lost this finals, like he was shooting that percentage from the field.
But he made sure they didn't. He scored 45 in an eliminate. Right. You're
They
right.
had D game.
But
You have D game to close it out.
Yeah.
But like if they lost those other 2 games, then this would have just been like one good game, and then if they lost the series, then oh well. Like, but I'll hear your argument for best Nick. I don't know if I can hear your argument for top 50 player all time off of one.
that seems a little. He was talking about he's better. What did he rank him over James Harden?
I can see ranking him over James Harden.
Well, no, I mean, no. Like
I can hear
Harden's
the
just so
argument.
hard.
Harden
It's
has
ring
the
culture
accolades.
shit, which sucks because
Yeah, it
Harden's
is.
like up there in like top 5 and like all time and like 3-pointers made and like top 10 in assists and shit like that. But like I don't.
He has playoff records with the amount of playoff games he's played. Like he statistically, at least, has accolades over Brunson.
I mean, like narrative based is the problem though. Like narrative based, like we're always gonna look at James Harden as just a playoff dropper, and that's tough.
Yeah,
But,
no, it's
Harden's
it's tough.
17 is 17 in playoff series.
That's
just a fact.
That's crazy. That's crazy. He's been in 34 playoff series. Like,
I mean,
it
since
seemed
he was
crazier that
drafted.
I know, but it's crazy. He's been in 34 playoff series, but it's like even crazier that he's even 500 of them.
Well, you can't forget that the one time he went to the finals, he was a 6-man on the team, not a starter. He never returned as a starter. That's going to be held against him. But he did win an MVP. He was a premier player in the league. Some might say he still is. Cavaliers. But, you know, it's just, I think James edges him out slightly still.
But
I think one more year, probably one more year, Brunson doing this and a deep playoff run probably puts him over the edge.
I can see that.
Harden's just been doing the damn thing forever, and he's been doing it pretty well despite not winning anything of.
Harden's just going to be an impossible person to rank forever because of that. Like, because his amazing stats and all that almost feel like empty because they weren't when it mattered. So it's like, what is this all for in the end? Like, he's the greatest player until it matters. It's like, then how good is he? You know, like he's just gonna be a really toxic person to rank for the rest of eternity because he has crazy stats, but it's like, what does he have for it? You know what I mean?
I think it's a no-brainer to me. James Harden is a top 50 player all time for sure. In spite of him not winning anything. Now, I don't think he's much higher than like the 40s. Like he's not in the top 30s, 20s, 10s, 1s, like as a player overall because he never got the thing done. But then again, I mean, it's the context, right? Like we know he doesn't show up. It's in 20 years people will be picking back like why did we hold James Harden? He played against X, Y, and Z player. He never had a player better than X on his team. All those arguments will get made, but we'll remember if we're alive that he was the choker. Yeah. And he was there's lots of comparisons you can make to Charles Barkley, but Simmons, and I wasn't around for this, right? I didn't see it, but Simmons said that they didn't lose because of Barkley's non-performance. Barkley showed up. It was like Kevin Johnson having an awful first 2 games, and he ran into Michael Jordan at the apex of his powers. You know, if we're gonna make a comparison across a sport, Charles Barkley is like
Aaron Judge,
Dan Marino.
Oh, I was thinking James Harden and Aaron Judge would probably be.
Well, Aaron Judge is still going.
Yeah,
but Marino never won a final. It wasn't
too.
because of Marino. Marino was awesome.
Well, I'm saying James Harden and Aaron Judge would be a comparison. Like they both still playing. Like Judge has been dropping a lot in the playoffs. I mean, did they win a title with Judge?
It's a different sport, though. It's 9 guys, Steve. Like it's.
There's 5
and
guys
Judge
on
is
the
still
court.
top 3 hitter in the league. Like it's not like his performance has dipped.
Well, we're talking playoffs here, though. Doesn't he drop in the playoffs a lot?
Yeah, but there's a whole other half of the game that's not his pitching. You know, like there's like
it's
kind of hard to make
with that noodle arm that they were testing every time they could. Last time I seen him out there.
I mean, I think Judge didn't he have a good playoffs last year, Jacob? Am I wrong about that? Do I misremember that? Like he showed up.
He had a better playoff. It wasn't like absolutely crazy. Like because like Judge is someone who gets like he's like a literally an all-time hitter. Like last year, he had like 50+ home runs with like a 330 average. Like he's an old school average somehow with being 6'7". But he did well, but I think it was like sub 300, like 290. You know what I mean? Like not like Hall of Fame, but still well.
Yeah, he's no Carlos Beltran, where it's like he's the inverse of that, where Beltran would, he cruised for the regular season, and then when he's Mr. October, like he immediately becomes the hottest bat in your lineup. It's the inverse with Judge.
Oh, wow. Fucking who's Jackie Bradley Jr. for that one postseason run where he was like the worst hitter you've ever seen all regular season.
He's like batting below the Mendoza line for 90% of the year, and then in the playoffs he has like 3 good at bats.
He hit like a grand slam. And he won that MVP of that series.
I thought Pierce won it that year because I thought didn't he have
ALCS?
In the ALCS,
yeah. But Pierce did in the World Series, yeah.
The random fucking things that I remember about baseball, but I can't name 3 players on the team right now.
It's not your fault, pal. Yeah, so Brunson's getting a lot of the praise, and he should be riding this tour. He's earned it. Whether or not he's actually top 50 yet, greatest Knick of all time, is this the greatest Knicks team of all time? Who cares? They're at least in the conversation now because of how they played, and they earned it.
The true fruits of that conversation is the fact that you can have that conversation.
Yes, you now are at that level, which matters.
Well, you started the show by saying that he's locked up his Hall of Fame resume. Do you think Brunson locked up a Hall of Fame resume with this? Because
it's going to be hard to tell the story of basketball, especially the college success.
Not college
without telling Jaylen Brunson's story.
Yeah, you're right. I wasn't thinking college. That's 2 national championships there and a title in the.
Did he win 2 there?
He already has 3 All NBAs too. Like 3 all. Like obviously that's not a crazy amount, but we've seen people get in with less. That's for sure.
Shit. Does that mean Al Horford's a lock for the Hall of Fame?
I think Al Horford's pretty much a lock for the Hall of Fame. But as Basketball Reference thinks otherwise. I think basketball has him under 50%, but I think he's a lock. National champion.
2-time national championship. He went back-to-back in Florida with Joakim Noah, and he won a championship with the Celtics, and he was a All-NBA almost every year with the Hawks, All-Star almost every year with the Hawks. I think his resume, I think he's a lot more than Brunson's, in my opinion.
It's also the story of 20
years.
Chip's
not as heavy. Yeah, the chip's not as heavy. Like he did win a championship, but he was like Brunson was not as important. But Brunson was the number 1, so it's a little bit different. That's for sure. Like, sure, Al did win it and he was important, but like not the same.
But also, we're 8 years into Brunson's career. Like Al Horford's.
I think he's definitely going. I think Brunson, at the rate that he's going, will be a lock for Hall of Fame. I just don't know if I can lock him in there.
Also, Horford only has 1 All-NBA somehow.
1?
But he was a multiple-time All-Star, right? Had to have been.
5. So Brunson will clear all that.
He's got defensive all defense teams or no?
Just 1. He's not that accomplished.
Wow. I would have said he probably had none.
I would have said he had like 2 or 3 all defensive teams with the Hawks. Like he was a dog on the Hawks defensively.
I mean, he was a dog on the Celtics, but I was just thinking, like, in an era pretty much dominated by like Marc Gasol, Tyson Chandler. He might have been edged out.
Yeah, there was no positionless basketball on that. So, yeah, you're Marc Gasol, your Dwight Howard was playing at that time. Yep. Like there was
only 3 like 3 centers could get it every year. Like now they could do like 6. They could, you know what I mean? Like they'll just throw them in there.
They could do 10 if they wanted to.
Well, they should just do 1 and make it Wemby, and then everybody else, like you did well.
Everybody else should get second team. Wemby should get all 5 first team.
Well, I guess that's what happened. You got the unanimous deep boy this year.
Only one ever.
So somehow the Mavs lose the hardest. Here in June of 2026.
The Mavs who haven't played basketball like 3 months are the biggest losers of June.
I mean, one guy's an MVP, perennial MVP candidate, been to a finals, although with them, and the other just won the finals. So that's got to kill him. Neither of which are on the same team.
One thing that was killing me, like almost similar to like the Luka conversation of people like pooping on Luka. It's like, come on, man. We all know the context of like Luka dragging a fucking like pretty weird, not amazing team, and also just going crazy otherwise. But like people doing the same for Jimmy Butler with Cat and Wiggins. It's like, come on, man. You can't. Jimmy Butler, like this dude dragged like the Heat to the finals twice and faced like LeBron and Jokic in the final. Like, come on, dude.
His
Jimmy, like,
second best
sure.
player was Bam Adebayo for both of those finals.
I mean, he bested the Jays Celtics. Like, that's probably a even bigger like feather in his cap that he bested those guys multiple times. Like,
he had a 40-point triple-double in the NBA Finals in like a game they lost. Like, I don't. He's the only player that I think to ever have a 40-point triple-double in the finals too. Like, he's a dog.
Yeah, Jimmy's clutch as it gets when it comes to playoffs. That you can't really laugh at. Jimmy just has never had the supporting cast to win a finals when he was in his prime.
Jimmy would have been a perfect Knick if he could weasel his way onto that team. Imagine playing that fucking squad. Good lord.
He'd be a perfect Spur too.
Oh yeah. Well,
there's
like not many teams that couldn't use Jimmy Butler at his peak powers.
Oh man, just fucking just sign him and just say, hey, you're not going to play like at all basically all season. We're just going to save you for the playoffs. Just go crazy.
Yeah. That's anything else about the NBA Finals? New York, I'm pretty sure the Flames are still going. They're burning the city down, going nuts, go crazy.
63 arrests. I read somewhere.
That sounds low, but yeah, probably.
It's too chaotic. It's too chaotic for more. That's the only people that could wrangle.
Start running out of fucking squad cars to fucking put people in.
Not to mention the regular rate of crime in New York City must, it's not low. The freaks come out at night, dude, in New York.
No, that was their purge night. The only night you can get away with crime.
What was it? Was it Philly? Was it when the Eagles won that you had the guy eating the fucking shit at the parade? Like that. Philly is the only other city where they go like the city has to go on lock. I guess Boston back in the day for sure, but people are eating like shit, like horse shit from the fucking police horses.
Boston, we've just been here. It's just become too common for a championship for us to be like burning down the city when we win. Like we party, but we don't do like what New York and Philly and these towns are doing. No,
the last like vestiges of the party for Boston winning championships came with like Gronkowski and ended with him. Like he was the party. Other than that, it was like, this is just, we do this once a year. So like, this is business. Let's just show up, take some cool pictures. I was at the Celtics parade and it was like, it was quick. It was hot. It was sterile. Everybody was lined up down the street. It was very well organized. It was like a corporate event.
I think it sucks about basketball and hockey parades is that the team is just so small compared to like football. Like football parades go on forever. They have to have like so many boats because there's so many fucking players and their wives.
53 players. Yeah.
Oh my god! And then you get to like basketball, it's 14 guys and like 4 coaches. It's like, all right, we can all fit on one duck boat if we want to, guys. I don't know.
Well, right, they spread them out over like the course of 6 boats.
Yeah, they're trying to tell guys like, hey, bring as many people as you want so we can fill up some boats here, guys, because this is gonna look pretty bad if we got like 3 guys on the last boat just waving at people.
I guess that's a good segue. Speaking of Celtics on different boats, the season ends and we're immediately in the Giannis. Somehow the Giannis to the Celtics talks flare up, and Simmons acknowledges that there's real smoke here, and he can't deduce what it is. I don't think any of us can. I mean, some people on Twitter are talking about the deal's already done and they're just working out the paperwork. Other people are saying that the Celtics are just trying to play the Heat or, play one of the contenders to raise the price for Giannis, sort of as a stalking horse. Either way, we've never been closer to the precipice of Jaylen Brown probably not playing for the Celtics than we are right now. And we've been close a few times, but this seems like this is the realest it's ever been. Guys, Giannis, JB, what do we got?
I saw some like reports that like they're still trying to get it done without Jalen being involved. It just doesn't seem too possible, and I don't even know what team we'd have if that's the case. But yeah, I don't know. It does seem the highest. I still, with all these things, you kind of get wrapped up in like thinking of the potentials and like what happened, what shakes out. But I still will probably lean that it's just not going to happen. I feel like that's usually what happens with these sort of situations. But I definitely agree that it feels like the closest it's ever been.
Yeah, Steve.
With the way that the Celtics season ended this year and the way that the Bucks have been have been rolling towards since their championship with Drew and after he left, and like how everything's been going with that team ever since then. Like that's been a boulder going down a hill, picking up speed for the last few years, and I think they're pulling the trigger a little late if they are going to trade Giannis. I mean, I think last year would have been a much better time to do it. Like you could have got more with him. Like he had last year was a lot of injuries. However, many of them were actually injuries or just the Bucks telling him to sit. Like we'll never know, but one more year of control on his contract too before he has to sign the extension. Like last year would have been the time to trade him, I think, because like look at the way that team was built. Even last year, if he was healthy, like that team was not a contender.
No, I mean, there's a few things I think about this. One, what is Giannis's market? Is it like are all 29 other teams like playing like poker with each other, or like chicken with each other, trying to drive the price up, and that's why nothing's getting done? Or is there really no market for not a market that would be, like respectful of a guy of his talent, like straight up respectful, so there's that aspect. Like, what the hell? Why is this market either nothing or the most like everybody's just playing poker to trying to move their assets around to make it work, and that's why nothing's getting done. It's crazy to me because I've sort of switched here where I'm like I could maybe see Giannis and Tatum working I mean, this guy is a top 4 talent in the league when healthy. He was great last year until he got hurt again, which has been the issue, right? Or was he hurt, or was he just being sad? Like, well, we don't know the full story here with him, but he is a top 4 guy, right? Like,
when he's healthy, yeah. When he's playing at his prime, again, he's only 31 years old too. It's not like he's past his prime. We're not dealing with an aging star here. I mean, like the only things that I'd be worried about is that he's been injured in the playoffs the last couple of years. But like Jacob's told me multiple times, it's like you don't have to worry about that so much with the Celtics because the load on his back isn't going to be as big.
Pause.
No pause.
Yeah, he's had like historic PR and historic usage the past few years, so it's just really hard. Like literally like historic PR.
Yeah, and he won't have that here, so that would be a big thing. And to your point about is everybody just playing poker with each other? Is our 29 teams looking for him? It's like how much of this is the second apron coming into play where teams just can't trade for guys making $50-something million a year because they're over the apron or they can't move enough money to make that work, and they don't want to be stuck in the apron because they're not going to be a contender even with Giannis. Like it's a lot of I don't know how much of that. I'd have to talk to somebody that's much smarter than me, which is not hard to do, but I'd have to talk to somebody that's much smarter than me with this draft shit and this apron shit to tell me if that's part of the reason why it's being stagnant. But other than that, like I would think that out of the 29 other teams, there's got to be 25.
I was going to say,
team. Like there's only about 4 teams that would be like, hey, probably not. Like the Knicks.
Dude, if I'm the Knicks, you got to entertain some sort of offer, like for Giannis to add him to Jaylen Brown. Like, I know you just won the championship, and I know you love your guys, but if there's a deal where it's like, Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby with picks, you're telling me you're not at least like trying to make it work?
They wouldn't want that though. They would want Cat, OG, and lots of other things. And then you're also like we got to think about all this shit gets out. Like whenever like a team is trying to make a trade for a big guy like that, all the team names come out and all like who's getting put up for the trade gets put out there. So like coming off a title, do you really want that sitting over your head for your whole celebration of an offseason to be like, oh, like am I actually gonna be on this team like next year? Like do they actually like I don't know. Like there's only about like I said, there's only about 4 teams I think that wouldn't want to trade for Giannis. That would be like
that's crazy. That number has to be 29. 29 teams would trade for Giannis if the price was right.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, sure. If we're going to play the prices right, yeah, sure. I'd love to give up Jeremy Sohan for fucking Giannis Antetokounmpo, too. That's great. But, like, the price is not going to be right for every team. And teams that are already built to compete would have to blow up a lot of their roster to get Giannis to how
make
much
the money work at the very least.
And how much farther is that going to get you? Like, how much closer to a championship is that going to get you if you blow up? If you take Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, and picks and trade him for Giannis, like, does that are you that much closer to a title next year, or are you in the same
I mean,
spot with one less guy and one less pick? You know what I mean?
in theory, you swap a guy who's a top 15 guy, maybe, and a top 30 guy, maybe, for a guy who's top 4, definitely. I mean,
Yeah. I have a feeling it's on the Bucks, to be honest. Like, I think it's more poker on their end, like just being so. I just think they see situations like the Mavs, and just also just thinking about their history. Like, it's basically Kareem and Giannis, and then a massive gap to their third best player. Like, I just feel like they're probably just really anxious to fuck this up and just be the laughing stock of the league for trading away like their one superstar since the '70s. I don't know. I feel like it's on the Bucks just like waiting for the perfect return that they won't get criticized for. You know, like something to do with that, because like you're saying, there has to be a market for it, and they're just rejecting lesser deals.
And the Bucks
as
want to
I
win now, I'm assuming too, because like if you're gonna give up Giannis, like you need to still stay relevant. Like you're a small market team that no free agent's gonna go to. Like you need to stay relevant. And I
I
think that's
couldn't
how the Bucks are looking at it.
couldn't disagree with you more. I
I mean,
think they're
what
going to
free
try to
agent wants
win
to go play
now.
in Milwaukee when you can go play in Miami? You know, like what free agent wants to go play in Milwaukee when you can go play for the Clippers when Kawhi leaves? Because like who the fuck knows what's going on over there? Like you know what I mean? Like
Well,
You can get tree money there.
hold on.
yeah,
Let me go.
you can get extra free money at fucking LA. Why the fuck do I want to go live in cold ass Milwaukee? Like
Let me. I think that I was reading ESPN. I think essentially Giannis has stated, I would play in Milwaukee, but I have to be my contract has to be extended in a max deal. The Bucks haven't done that, so they
well,
obviously they don't
this could
want
also
him.
just be more posturing from Giannis. He's been doing it all year, talking about, oh, I never asked for a trade. I never did this. But his agent asked for a trade, but he didn't tell his agent to say that. Like, this is all posturing for Giannis to try and make himself look like a good guy again. Like, he doesn't want to play in Milwaukee. We know he doesn't want to play in Milwaukee. There's no chance he wants to stay
I
in
don't think that's
Milwaukee. He's
true,
wasted
Steve.
the last, like, 5 years in Milwaukee since they won the championship, and they've gotten worse every year. Like,
I don't think that's true. I don't agree with that. I think Giannis would play in Milwaukee if they extended his contract and gave him some sort of
well,
game
like you
plan for
said,
what
there's
his end of his career is
29
going to be.
teams that want Giannis. Why is it not 30? Why does Milwaukee not want Giannis then? Because that's the easiest extension of all time if that was true. Like, if that's true,
Maybe
like,
Giannis. Maybe he's asking them to extend the brother on a max too, and they're like, "No, that's too far, dude."
I
like you said, like, everybody should want Giannis for the right price. You don't even have to give anything up to have Giannis if you're Milwaukee, so why haven't they done it yet?
Well, I think they're looking at it being like, what is better for this franchise going forward the next 10 years? Is it 4 more years of Giannis being here and then he walks to a different team at the end of his career and we get nothing for him? Or do we try and trade him now for a guy who's in his 20s, who's either a star or like going to be, and a bunch of picks to reset this thing around that guy? That's going to be better for
So
their overall 10 years.
It is win
Then
now trade.
No, it's not, because the win now move is to re-sign Giannis and build around him.
No, they haven't been able to do that yet. Like, they don't know how to do that, apparently. They did it 1 year, and then they fucked it up every year since.
Well, you buy yourself more time as a front office if you get off of them. And you'd be like, we have a rebuild plan here for the next 5 years.
I just think that Giannis is just posturing and trying to make himself look like the good guy again. Like, he's done it all year. I don't believe that he's... I believe that he told him
There's 2 parties to this, Steve. There's 2 parties here.
Well, if he says, I don't believe that he's being truthful when the story comes out that he would have signed an extension if they gave it to him. Like, I don't believe that for a second.
I mean, I don't think that the Bucks would be like...
He's been publicly fighting with them like all year long through the media. Like, why all of a sudden would it be, oh, like, if they sign me to an extension, I'd love to stay. Like,
they're going to have cap space. They had like a team that's...
No, they don't. They had to waive and sign fucking Dame Lillard. They're paying $20 million to a guy who doesn't play for their team anymore.
But it's like spread out over 20 years. Like, they spread that money out. So
no,
that is going to be like a constant...
No, it's $20 million every year on their books for the next like 5 years for a guy that doesn't play for them anymore.
Is it for the next 5 years? Jesus, what a tough deal that was.
And then they have Miles Turner on that team. They signed him to a huge contract too. Like, they don't really have any cap space.
It's
to
not
be
a
playing
huge.
around
I mean,
with.
it's a Miles Turner. Like, they paid Miles Turner for like three, one of which is done years of basketball.
I'm just saying they don't have all this cap space that we all think that they do. Like they're kind of tied up with it. They don't have a lot of draft picks because they traded them all for Dame. That didn't work.
They have more cap space than any team that's not worse than them.
Well,
Like,
also, I don't know, I just don't see it. Like he's not staying in Milwaukee. He doesn't want to stay in Milwaukee. Like if he wanted to stay in Milwaukee, he would have signed the extension. They would have given him the extension. He would have signed at the beginning of the year before they were fighting all year.
I hope he doesn't. That's for sure. It's funny
well,
because
either way, he wants
I
an
kind of love
extension.
him.
If he gets traded somewhere, he's gonna sign an extension too. So like it doesn't. That's one thing that is with the trade. That because that's his leverage too for where he can go, because he's gonna tell them like, hey, you can trade me to Portland if you want to, but I'm telling Portland I'm not signing an extension, and Portland's gonna say, all right, well, we're not giving up shit for a rental for 1 year. You know what I mean?
So back to the original point of who's playing poker. Is everybody playing poker, or is the market really bad? You think the market's really bad, and it's appropriately so.
No, I think the market. I think you're right. There are teams playing poker. I just think there's only about 4 teams I think in the league that shouldn't want to trade for Giannis. I think the other 25 teams should 100% be in on him. Like we were talking about, when he's healthy, he's a top 4 player in the league. Like you don't, like a talent like that that's so unbelievably good on both ends of the floor. You can't pass the opportunity to get that unless you're a team that's already built to win a championship the way you are, and
that's a good
blow up your future to try and win a championship now.
Yeah, so that's a good point to jump off here. Onto the how this looks for the C's. What we just won't know, and we may never know the actual facts of what happened with Giannis and the Bucks, or what the market's. But we'll, from what he gets moved for, if he gets moved at all, who knows what happens. We'll be able to deduce a little bit what side was probably right. Either way, a part of this whole Giannis and JB stuff is, if it's true or not, like the Celtics are actually shopping JB and very much considering moving off of him to the Bucks, that sucks. But if it's not, if it's true and this is all the speculation, and he doesn't get moved, isn't the damage done already? Like, if you're JB, wouldn't you feel disrespected? To your core, being like, really, after what I just did, and I listened, he didn't have a championship year. But whether or not the smoke is real, the Celtics are trying to shop him or not, isn't the damage already kind of done with him? Because he's that type of guy. He holds grudges, and that's fine. But like that he lets that stuff fuel him, and isn't. Yeah, I guess that's part one.
I mean, you're looking at like Brad Stevens. Like if he's gonna try and trade for Giannis, and he's worried about this hurting JB's feelings, like he has a pivot for if the Giannis thing falls through. Like he always has had that.
Which is, we try to shop you.
It's Brad Stevens. With us. No, he's gonna pivot and trade him somewhere else for something else that's gonna be pretty good. And I've heard reports that JB is in lockstep with this. That's why you're not hearing a lot from JB about being upset about his name being in rumors, because in the past we've heard him outwardly talk about how, like, when they were trying to trade him for Jimmy Butler 1 year, I think, or was it Stanley Johnson 1 year, I think, when he was young.
Holy fuck.
No, maybe not Stanley. No,
there's some guy that would be better.
Who's the guy that aged well that the Heat got? Justice Winslow?
Yeah, Justice, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought both would be better, Stanley and Justice.
Yeah, so I mean, like, he's outwardly said he's been upset about that before, but we haven't heard anything from him this year, and this is the year that he's like on Twitch stream every night, and we haven't heard anything about on him talking on his Twitch stream about being upset his name is in rumors. Like, maybe he is in lockstep with the organization, and maybe like this is when he wants to have his own team. And like the way he played this year, I can't blame him for wanting to have his own team. Like, honestly, like I think he could have his own team. I don't know how, if we'd be championship level successful, but I mean, like we were pretty good this year. We lost to the Sixers this year, but we underperformed in the playoffs, obviously, but we could have been a championship level team.
Yeah.
I mean, we were certainly looking like what we appeared to be one all year, and it's no small part due to JB. And don't you think oh, sorry, Jacob, what were you trying to say?
I was going to say, it's tough to say we were anywhere near a championship after the team we got embarrassed by got swept.
Yeah, in reality we weren't, but we certainly, I mean, I believed we were. at one
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Like, it's tough. He could at least lead a team to a winning record, that's for sure. Whether or not it'd be like because he's a little bit easier to game plan for in the playoffs, that's for sure. But yeah, I don't know. It's tough. And I agree. He's definitely holds grudges. Maybe the fact that he's not as loud about it is that it is Giannis. It's definitely a certain caliber of player that's way above what he was like you're saying, like Jimmy Butler and Justice Winslow and all that. Like, we're talking about a 2-time MVP that's 31. Maybe he's like chilling because it'd be almost like maybe more of an honor to get traded for Giannis. But I don't know. Regardless, I don't know how. I think it makes us a different team. Who knows if it's like more of a championship team? But yeah, I don't know if it's because he's in on it or if it's just Giannis is a different cat, so he's not as taken aback. Like, oh my god, you think I'm only as good as Giannis? It's like it's a little different than what he's been proposed to in the past.
Yeah,
I mean, even back then when there was the Jimmy Butler stuff. Or am I getting that mixed up with Jay Crowder getting traded for Jimmy Butler?
I don't. Yeah, because that was like 2015 when Jimmy Butler was still like a young guy, and Jay Crowder was a relevant asset, and before Jaylen Brown was around.
Yeah, well, so I mean, he's been getting upset about getting put in trade rumors for other people, but I mean, the Giannis thing, it would be a rival, him being traded for a rival that he's beaten in the playoffs before and everything like that. So, like, I don't know. If he was really upset about the stuff, we would have heard about it. So that's why I think that he has, and he's in lockstep with the front office about like, hey, like, I'd like to run my own team. You can put me out in trade rumors. Like, obviously, this is when you're going to get the most for me. So, like,
also, have we heard a direct statement from the front office being like, we are trying to move Jaylen Brown? Like, no, that's also not a thing.
But the
Everybody's
Celtics
kind of
never do
being
that, though.
quiet.
The Celtics have never said, "Oh, we're going to try and trade a guy." Like, we didn't know anything about Smart being traded, and all of a sudden, we woke up one morning and originally we thought it was Malcolm Brogdon, and then it was Marcus Smart, and then we had Kristaps Porzingis, and one day we went to bed and we woke up and we had Drew Holiday. It was like these.
I mean, I hear you, but like,
we've never outwardly said we're going to trade this player because that's just not how the Celtics have ever operated. They've always operated where all of a sudden something happens. Like, you were like, it's always out of left field with the Celtics. That's why a lot of people don't believe these Giannis rumors, because there's never really been rumors connected to a player that we've actually gotten.
Well, that's also another thing. All of this stuff that we're talking about, I think it's more pointing towards we're being a stalking horse. This is some like shadow commish Brad Stevens maneuvering, like he's just trying to drive the price up so that when the Heat do pull the trigger, it's for a bigger offer, and therefore Giannis won't hurt them, and nor will the Bucks. I just think that if it was what everybody, like you said, lovey-dovey, everybody's all in lockstep, then there would be no problem in announcing this trade rumor. And that would then put pressure on the Bucks front office to get the deal done, instead of like maybe trying to shop around. It'd actually be more strategically advantageous to say this is the price outright, instead of everybody being quiet and apparently in lockstep.
Well, there's also a way that we can make the trade without Jaylen Brown too. Like, there's an avenue where you can trade Pritchard and Pritchard, Hauser, Hugo, and like picks or something like that. Or something, dude. Like that. I mean,
if that's what Giannis gets moved for,
Derek White. It was Pritchard, Derek White, Hauser, Hugo, and picks, and like a couple first round picks.
Love Derek White, love him to death. He's not, I mean, that still would be like borderline disrespectful for a deal. I mean, maybe not.
What are the Heat offering that's better than that, though? That's the thing, though. It's like we're trying to drive up the price on a fucking guy who has.
I mean, take money. Tyler Herro. He's still like 24, and in picks.
I mean, would you rather have Tyler Herro in picks or Derek White in picks?
I'd rather have the Heat's picks because it's gonna be worse.
Yeah, that's where you get to too. But I mean, it's like, hey, like, are you gonna like try and drive up my bid on a fucking car when you know that I'm dead broke anyways? Like, you're never gonna get, like, I can only go so high. Like, you're just gonna hurt yourself. So like, why am I gonna put out that I'm gonna trade Jaylen Brown and scare them away? Because there's nothing that you can put out that's anywhere close to Jaylen Brown. You're not going to drive up their price by
True.
offering Jaylen Brown. Like if me and you go up to a car and you offer $1 million for this car, it's like, all right, well, you're not driving up my price because I got fucking $5 in my bank account. Like I'm gonna go get a slushie and go home. Like,
but because of the way the financial rules are set up and how hard it is to team build now, the NBA is a zero-sum game. If I can get one team to offer one more asset than they wouldn't have by releasing that information, as opposed to knocking off maybe 4 teams off the list that are actually involved, I would do that. I would do that. And it costs you nothing, right? It's no, I mean, it costs you nothing. Everybody's in lockstep. There's no fringe. It's just the risk. The juice will be more worth the squeeze to me than being silent about it and like nobody knowing what your
they're
plans
silent to the media, but like if you offer the Bucks Jaylen Brown and some first for Giannis, then somebody else offers them something. They're gonna tell the other team like, hey, the Celtics offered us Jaylen Brown and picks. Like, are you gonna match that? Like,
Well, I mean, you say that, but the Luka Doncic trade came out of nowhere and
yeah,
was
but that was
kept
fucking
entirely
stupid.
silent.
That was the dumbest thing we've ever seen. Like, he didn't even call anybody else. He just took the first fucking deal.
But on his face, there are ways to keep these dealings secret.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can keep it secret if you want to, but like,
yes,
if you're gonna try and drive up the price on somebody else, like you can call. Like, if we offered Jalen and some first, and then say, I don't know, name another team wanted to trade for him, you could call up that team and be like, hey, we just offered Jalen and first for Giannis. Like, what are you gonna give up? There's ways to drive it up behind the media that we'll never hear about. Like, there's ways to leak that information directly to other teams and raise their price without us hearing about it. Because, like I said, like the Celtics have never been in the media with their trades. I mean, the Kyrie trade came out of nowhere. Like, every big
I feel
trade,
like we got kind of cool with the Kevin Durant for Jaylen Brown stuff. Kind of was like,
we heard about that, but that was never released by the Celtics. The Celtics never said, hey, we're trading Jaylen Brown for Kevin Durant. Like, we've never been that team to do that.
You want to talk about like when you should have done it? I mean, I don't think you ever should have done it because we won a title. But if you ever should have done it, it was then because Jaylen Brown was not Jaylen Brown. He didn't win a title yet. Mm-hmm. And by the way, you're getting a guy who's a top 15 player all time, not top 4 maybe, but top 15, close. Yeah. How would you guys feel about the trade if it were to happen? Jaylen Brown, some picks for Giannis, extension signed.
It would depend on what we do around it. Cause like, I definitely think there'd be an avenue to be a championship team with that. It's just, we'd have to like plug some guard scoring holes wherever we could, at the same time. You know what I mean? I'd feel much better if we like kind of build the team around the new direction a little. I mean, I could see us being a championship contender either way. So it's sort of, I'd be more sad than like bummed about our championship prospects. You know what I mean? Like,
I was going to say, like, on his face, are you a better team with that trade? I mean, I don't think there's much we can do team building otherwise because we're cash strapped either way. It's just one team you're going with, if you don't have to move anybody else, let's just say it's Jaylen Brown and picks, you're just swapping the player essentially. Like, you're in theory a better team than you were last year.
Yeah,
or, as you would be if Jaylen Brown would to play with this team next year. Yeah, if everybody stays healthy. That's obviously that risk is built in.
Yeah, if Giannis, but like the thing is, like, you're trading a guy who's never really had an injury, never had a serious injury for a guy who just came off.
We've been pretty blessed in that department.
The guy who's coming off an injury-marred season and has been missing playoff series. Like, that's the only thing I would be hesitant to about the trade. But I think you'd be a better team. Like,
really? So yeah,
Giannis,
you would.
Like, fits so perfectly into Joe's system because Giannis creates like in the 100th percentile of threes like for the last like 3 years. I'm not even making up that stat. Like, he literally is like the 100th. He creates the most 3-point attempts for his team out of anybody in the league. And
he pulls the entire defense in on him.
Joe loves that. So
yeah,
like, he fits right in with that. And defensively, like, he's a plug and play monster. Like, guards 1 through 5. Like,
and Jalen's an awesome defender, but he ain't no Giannis defender.
Yeah, you can't.
Not many people are.
And it'd be interesting to see how he plays with Tatum. like playing off ball versus on ball, like both of them. Tatum plays well off ball anyways, but it would be interesting to see how that dynamic could work. I mean, Jesus Christ, talk about a fucking two-headed defensive monster. Like, hey, you got Jason Tatum on you. Hey, trying to set a screen, you got a switch, and now you have Giannis on you. It's like, oh, sick. Oh, let me try and switch again. Oh, I have fucking Derek White on me. Oh, no. Oh, where's fucking Ugo? He's the worst defender on the floor right now. Like,
I mean, yeah, I can't.
it would still
As
make
a
me so sad to see Jalen go if it did happen, though.
as a basketball fan, the Giannis to the Celtics move would be the move. Like that would everything about it is just like shit. Of course, like if he gets to play with everything you just said, Steve. Like I do think we're a better team. I do think we're closer to a championship. I would be devastated, and it sucks because if you asked me back then, Kevin Durant trade, I didn't want to do it because of who Jaylen Brown. Like I was hopeful for the player to become something great. And it's like, I didn't really care about it. I was like, wow, everything's in the future. We're fine. I would have traded. And now I like grown to love the guy. And I don't really care about, I know who he is as a player. Not saying he can't get better. He can. But I just love that guy. So I could,
he's been
now
for
I'd be
9
really just
years.
sad to see him not play. Yeah, almost a decade.
We've seen him grow from the guy who like couldn't pass and like was struggle dribbling and playmaking to a guy who this year averaged 6 assists a game and like led a team to the playoffs by himself. Like
a third of our lives have been rooting for this guy. Almost.
Yeah, like he's been a dominant player. Like we've seen him like go through the headaches and the struggles of a young player to what he is now. Like it's the tough part about fandom is that like you fall in love with these guys and it's like they could be gone tomorrow. Like you have no idea. Like Marcus Smart is like a great example of that. Like we loved Marcus Smart. We never thought that he would ever leave this team.
That was the first time my heart broke.
Isaiah Thomas back when we traded him for Kyrie, like we watched he went through losing his sister and like put up a 50 burger in the playoffs the day after losing his sister and the wars we had with the Wizards those years, which is very funny back because the Wizards are so bad now. But like,
that one doesn't make me feel sad as much as like, because obviously the attachment wasn't quite there. I mean, Marcus Smart played his almost entire career here. Jaylen Brown has played nothing but here for 10 years. IT was a relatively new addition. We obviously grew to love him and he was a beast. I feel more like angry with the front office on that move than I do sad. I'd be like, yeah, it was for a much better player and it made sense and all that stuff. Like you try to build around the two young guys and maximize that guy's talent, return. So but it's just like, oh, you fucked him. Yeah. You fucked him bad. And like that doesn't sit right with me. That's just like more of a black mark to me than it is like a sad moment to me.
Yeah, that was sad, totally. That one's hard to read because it's also like, damn, like where would we be if we maxed IT? He literally never had a good season again.
Yeah, I mean it literally play. I know Kyrie didn't do much here, but it literally played out as well as it probably could have if we kept, rather than keeping the asset.
Same with Smart too. That's the thing. Same with Smart. Same with the big three. That's why it's hard to be like rational about these because like those are all like smart trades. But then you still like I'll still go back and look at highlights and be sad. Like even though I know that the result was amazing. Like watching Paul Pierce on the Wizards and stuff. I'm like, damn, that it pulls on my heartstrings. But it's like, yeah, we got Jalen fucking
Jason. Finished his career at Celtic, which sucks.
Yeah,
but that's what it is. Like you had to make that trade for the haul that you were getting. Like that's the worst part about being a sports fan is watching like your favorite players go. Like when Rondo left, like that killed me. Like I wanted to see Rondo finish as a Celtic, but like I knew that as soon as the Pierce and KG trades happened, I was like, all right, they're not keeping him. Like,
well, I mean, Pierce is particularly galling. I mean, that's the best. I mean, he should have been a Celtic forever. Obviously, we don't have what we have now without him being traded. So
we don't even have this Jalen. We don't even have this Jalen trade hypothetical without that trade.
And Rondo was such a dickhead that like. I love Rondo. He's a beast, and I, forever a Celtic and all that shit. But, not the most likable guy.
He could never turn me on Rondo. I loved fucking Rondo. That was my guy. Like, even if he was a dickhead, even if he fucking argued with coaches, like, to be fair, he probably was smarter than half the fucking coaches he played for.
That was more like the homophobia and calling, I think, an openly gay ref the F word on the court. Didn't he get like suspended for that?
Was that
I
him?
remember
Or was
that.
I thought that was somebody else did that.
Sorry, Rondo, if I made that up. I'm choking to death. Anyways, yeah, I just be really
refresh your
sad.
feeds. We'll see if fucking Giannis is here.
I'm getting fucking choked up thinking about Rajon Rondo.
Physically getting choked up.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, no. It's the only reason I don't want it to happen. It's because I'd be sad seeing him play for another team. Anything on the feed, Steve? Please. Vamp.
No, I just look too. If anything, I'm seeing like less less strong. Like if anything, now the feed's almost like, oh, they weren't even shopping Jalen in the first place. They won it without Jalen being in it. Maybe that's why Jalen's being hushed too. Like he's just like Brad's just like, hey, don't listen to this shit. Like we're not trying to include you. Like we've never like that's just people trying to split us up. Like maybe that's why Jalen's being hushed because he's also trying to be a star player for a franchise and not you know what I mean.
You're talking about the ultimate backstabbing move of fucking Bradson's here telling him that, and then all of a sudden you find out tomorrow morning that he's a Milwaukee Buck.
That'd be crazy.
Oh, like I don't know,
hopefully
like,
it
I've
wouldn't
seen
go
a
down
lot of
like that.
people that are like reporting on like fake accounts and like accounts that I have no credibility. Like, oh, like this is definitely gonna happen. It's like, no, it's not. Like, I'm looking at this account, like half the fucking posts are about Kalshi and shit like that. I'm like, this is not gonna fucking happen. This is another bot trying to push the fucking market one way or the other.
It's out of Giannis's camp because he's a Kalshi.
That's fucking brutal. I fucking hate that. That's gross. Did you guys see Jay Williams today on fucking Sports Center talking about maybe his Wake Up or something? I don't know. Who the fuck knows? ESPN has so many fucking different programs that all do the same fucking thing. It's like, why do you have 18 different programs to report on sports? I don't. But anyways, he was on there talking about, oh, well, you know, fucking Jaylen Brown unfollowed all the Celtics on all different social medias and everything like that. And like people just looked and it just like wasn't true. Like Jaylen Brown's still following the Celtics on like everything. So they're just like fucking saying shit. Like,
fact check for me one time.
Like,
please.
what are we doing? Like, what are we
That's
fucking
an easy
doing?
one.
Yeah, I checked that too. Yeah, I saw that too, and I didn't even bother like mentioning it in the group chat because I was just like, "This is fucking like what the fuck, dude."
Like, ESPN
That's
is fucking
embarrassing.
pathetic, dude. ESPN is so bad now. It's like so bad because it's like now they have like a fucking sports book, like that they run too. So it's like, what information are we really being fed? Like, are we really getting the real information here? Like,
yeah, it blurs a lot of ethical lines.
Yes, Shams too. Shams is tied to sport, so it's like if he's like changing the championship odds with all these rumors and all that.
Giannis is fucking tied to Kalshi, which you can bet on sports and fucking anything else fucking under the sun, apparently. So
I almost don't blame the player.
No, for sure. If once you get out of the sports and all that, out of the game and all that, like I'd be more about it. But like when you're still
in terms
actively,
of influencing markets, like,
but when you're still actively in the league and you're on a betting app, like you're the face of a betting app is kind of tough.
But everybody does it, Steve. Oh, everybody does it.
All your friends.
He's collecting a paycheck.
Jump off a bridge. I don't know.
You have to believe as a sports fan in the integrity of the game. You have to believe it exists.
Oh, I don't believe in that at all anymore. Like
why watch the sports if you think it's rigged?
We had a coach and multiple players get arrested this year for gambling on their own games. Like, I don't.
But that's the instance of the system working. That's the system working.
That's also the system not working because these guys are betting on their own games. And this is the ones that we know.
They got caught. It worked.
Yeah, these are the dumbest fucking people you've ever seen. Like Terry Rozier is fucking got caught. Didn't he get caught like counting the money or something like that? Like,
so what's your point?
They caught the dumb ones. Like they caught Michael Porter Jr.'s brother, who's like a fucking 12th man on a fucking team, betting tens of thousands of dollars on his unders. Like, yeah, what did you think was going to happen? Like, how do we know these guys that know what they're doing or aren't doing it?
But what's the end game with Giannis being the spokesman for Kalshi that is so bad for the game?
I'm just saying it's nasty work when you're in the league and you have an influence on the markets.
How do they have an influence on the market?
Well, I mean, shit, you can bet on what fucking color shoes he's gonna wear tonight, and like he has a direct influence on that.
But they monitor. If there's a spike in pink, that gets flagged, and if he does it more than once, that'll be an investigation, and the system will work. Right? Like, there's systems in place to stop this from happening. And I don't think a player like Giannis is going to risk his professional career for making his friends $50,000.
No, I don't think he's gonna do it either. But I still think that it's nasty work to even put that like idea out there and like join Kalshi after you're done playing. Like I don't understand why you need to do it while you're playing. It's not like he needs the money. Like we're talking about the extension he's gonna sign is gonna be like a $250 million extension. Like I don't like he doesn't need the money. He doesn't need to be involved in gambling in any way if you're the face of it. Like I get like if you have to like, all right, like I work for a company and DraftKings is one of the sponsors of the company, so I have to go to DraftKings like or FanDuel or whatever. Like NBA is sponsored by FanDuel, so I gotta go to FanDuel things. Like I get that. Like that's part of your job because you're part of that company. But like to become the face of that of a gambling company when you're still in the league, it just doesn't sit right. I don't know.
I mean, listen, it's tied to Kalshi. I think that matters. That's not DraftKings. That's not, any MGM or whatever. This is Kalshi. It's a poly market, right? Like it's like, they bet on trends essentially. And you can bet on anything. You can bet whether a fucking nuke is going to hit Boston, in the next year. You can literally bet on that. Shit, not just sports. So, but it is shady. There is some shadiness there, right? Like the Trumps are all up in these bitches. Like they are the number one investors. And that there's some manipulation going on at that level. For sure. And there's but, I just don't see a problem with a player tying himself to gambling when gambling. It's just a vice, man. Then no player should be on any liquor brands, any fast food brands. Where do we draw the line here? Now we're cutting into players' income.
Well, I'm just drawing the line on like what they have an actual hand in the outcome of.
But then again, it's like you believe Giannis would tarnish his career or has thought about doing that for $50,000 or whatever sum that's not as, you think he would do that.
I don't think he would do that, but it doesn't stop other players from doing it though. Like,
okay, but they're not the voice of Kalshi.
Well, I didn't say that like, all right, I didn't say that it was just him. He's the only one that I'm upset about being tied to gambling with, you know what I mean? Like, if it was a smaller player in the league that was like the face of Kalshi, all of a sudden I'd be like, all right, that's not right. Like it's not just,
yes.
It's not just because Giannis, I'm not okay with it. Like I'm not okay with any player being like that. And Giannis is one of the only players in the league that wouldn't risk like blowing up his reputation for it or his career for it. Like, but just because he wouldn't do it doesn't mean that he should be the face of it,
And that's where I go back to the argument of where do you draw the line on how you get to make money, within
literally
legal limits.
Any other way than that, like literally, like.
But like, okay, so fast food kills more people than gambling does each year. Heart-based illnesses based off of obesity. Like, what's more detrimental to the public? Kalshi, McDonald's, Budweiser.
This only comes down to him having a hand in the outcome of gambling, stuff like that, and other players.
But he would never do that.
He wouldn't.
I don't believe he wouldn't. He would.
I'm never arguing that he would, but I'm just saying it's nasty that he's even in that position.
Yeah, I mean, okay, isn't that he's making money off of a branding? I guess that is nasty work. It is, and it's for a vice company.
I mean, yeah, my position is pretty lame. I'm on the side of even fast food. If I was that rich, I would be very ethical and picking and choosing what I'm influencing kids to do. So I actually prefer I would love if superstars were more picky about the advertisements, but
Jacob, you bet on sports.
Not anymore. I haven't done that for over a year or so. I did a little bit in the beginning, but then I kind of was like, oh, this is not cool, and stopped. I think I did like a year or so when it got legal, but Yeah. I mean,
well, you're the rare instance then, because Steve gambles here more than probably any of us now. I don't have the money to gamble, so I ain't been gambling. But
I literally only
you sent us
gamble
picks last week.
I only gamble for the playoffs. That's it. Like, other than that, like I just barely ever.
So you imbibe. Why? Who
the
you
hell does this
imbibe in
have
the
to do with
product?
anything that we've talked about? Like
Because you tacitly, I'm saying you're being hypocritical at the fundamental of it. Like you imbibe, you do. This would be like, I only smoke crack once a year, but I think you should get the max
I didn't say
penalty
there's
if you're
anything
caught with a
wrong with
pound of
gambling.
crack.
At no point in this conversation have I said there's anything wrong with gambling. If that's what you enjoy doing, do it responsibly. Like, I do not care.
So why does it bother you if Giannis is making money?
It doesn't bother me that Giannis is making money. It bothers me that Giannis is making money with a poly market group that he has an influence over. He has an influence over like things that are getting gambled on.
Okay. We've gone in like circles 5 times here. I think you're being hypocritical, and I get it. I kind of agree with you, actually, on an ethical basis. Like, maybe we just stop advertising DraftKings outright. Or, let's just not push this as much as we are. Just at the very base of it, I don't want to see Kevin Hart anymore. Like, I've had enough. So.
I've heard emails about that, which is funny.
I don't think LeBron James should be the face on DraftKings either.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that in principle.
All athletes just should not be like involved in gambling while they're in the league, or while they have like a hand in the outcome of games and stuff like that, and things that can be gambled on.
Well, it's just I just don't think we should be pushing gambling.
Was like one of the front faces of FanDuel. Like,
I mean, I don't have a problem with a coach getting money from advertisement if it's like we're all on board here.
All right, well,
like gambling is going to be sponsoring every
like the over under on fucking Jaylen Brunson's minutes tonight. Like, all right, Jalen, your ankle hurts now. You're only gonna play 12.5 minutes tonight. Like, I don't. He knows things ahead of time that nobody else knows, and he can tell that. He can tell the like FanDuel, or he can tell them, hey, move the line this way because
the risk is not worth the outcome. Whatever menial amount of money.
For most people, it's not.
Yes.
Well, I mean, look at Terry
Rick and Jaylen Brunson.
Look at Terry Rozier.
Look at him. He's making $20 million a year when he left the league. He didn't have to do it. He was just fucking stupid.
Exactly, but he still did it.
And he got caught. The system worked.
Because he was so fucking stupid. But like I'm saying, like there's ways that like even if like Rick Brunson can get a kickback from. We won't say Rick Brunson because like we shouldn't be putting actual names on this, but like a coach could get a kickback from FanDuel just for giving them information that like that moves the line one way or the other so that FanDuel can make more money and nobody would ever know about it.
I mean, FanDuel does not have to risk their fucking federal crime. Like that is actually a crime. What they're doing is by insider trading almost at that point. Like to make more money, that's directly tied to your shareholder value. Like they're committing actual like SEC violations by doing that. There is no crime committed, I don't think. Well, actually, there is. And Terry Rozier got caught up. And I think any other player who is not stupid wouldn't do this because they're not going to risk their professional career for $50,000. Stupid ones will, Jonte Porter. He wasn't making Terry Rozier money, and he probably never would. And that's why he did it. And he was stupid enough to do that. Now he'll never play in the NBA and find out if he could do that. Is he facing prison time?
Probably.
Go to prison.
Him and
Terry Rozier too. Like he was making good money, too much money for what his performances were, obviously. And he was stupid and he got caught. And if the systems are working, and everybody's on board with gambling, and we're all admitting that we love the product, we want to do this, make money off of it. I don't care if you're Jaylen Brunson, Rick Brunson, Giannis, Peyton Pritchard. I don't care. Like, make your money. Who am I to say that you can't do that? Even though I'm the one, paying for you to basically do that because I'm betting, every night. It's just like, yeah. I mean, it's what it's. We said it 100 times. It's
yeah,
either that or we're hypocritical, and yeah.
It's like you got to think about like it's almost. I just think they should like think of it as almost like their parents influencing like millions of kids. It's like parents can drink and smoke, but they're not advertising it to their kids. Like you got to think about these athletes, like who's looking up to you. That's why I'm more ethical about it. Like they can drink and whatever they want in their free time, but don't advertise it to kids that are idolizing you. Is more my point.
Well, right. That's why ethically I agree. Like I think we should probably limit gambling commercials, your fast food commercials, your Budweiser drinking. I mean, come on. We almost like don't even count that one anymore because every adult, except for like, a small percentage who are sober, has a drink from time to time. But kids are seeing it. It's constantly pumped down your throat. Budweiser sponsors every single sporting event under the sun, and it's right there for your kid to see. Like, but we're all kind of okay with it because we all do it. But maybe we
Capitalism,
should
baby.
not. Maybe we should not do that outright because we don't want to influence kids to do this and take risks. And it is bad for you. At the end of the day, it is a vice. So maybe we don't want to push this as much as we do. But as long as we're doing that, then don't be a hypocrite. Is what I say. Well, we beat that to death. Giannis, welcome to the Boston Celtics.
Maybe.
My feed
maybe.
before.
Yeah, man. I guess that's it for the NBA. Oh, Thiago Splitter, speaking of fucking being amoral, unethical, not paying a guy who's worth his fucking money. Somebody else will. Thiago Splitter lands as the head coach. Oh my God, I forgot the team.
Chicago.
Bulls.
Good for the Bulls.
Chicago. Oh yeah, the Bulls. Yeah, right. So he goes from Portland to Chicago. Man. Tough look for
I know
the
being a Blazers
Trailblazers.
fan, yeah, that'd be a tough to like. You're just entering like there's nothing worse than being a fan base of a owner that's trying to cut corners and be cheap. Like there's literally nothing worse. You're like, there's no way you can have high expectations. Like you'd have to get really lucky.
Especially being directly tied to what we were just talking about, the gambling shit and coming into the season on such a shit note, and the guy rallies your team, and Denny Avdia takes a leap under his watch, and you get to the playoffs, and then you're just like, I'm not going to pay you a fair market value. Oh, man. I mean, why own the team, dude?
Yeah, I don't even know. Especially because, it probably wouldn't have been a crazy pay anyway, to be honest. Like it's not like some, historic... you know what I mean? If anything, you probably got a really good coach for, a nice, cheap deal for, 4 or 5... You know what I mean? This could have been a good way... This is a good way to save money. Yeah, I was going to say, this would be a good way to save money. Find a rookie coach and pay him a little bit. But no, they just want to be bad, I guess. I don't know.
You don't have much of a vision outside of anything like that. Why not, have one piece of the puzzles in place, and that being the head coach? What is your other game plan? You don't have one.
Because they want to be fucking mediocre. Is what they want to do.
But how does that make you? You make more money when you're good. You get playoff revenue.
You have to pay players to be good enough to make the playoffs. So at the end of the day, your bottom line still isn't as nice as if you're a mediocre team not paying anybody any money.
Okay, but if you pay good players,
send fucking players to the fucking games in the playoffs.
I hear you.
Come on,
I agree. This guy sucks.
He's not gonna pay a fucking max contract player to come make them good enough to make the playoffs. He's just not gonna do it.
But Steve, the players, the good players, pay for themselves in fucking jersey sales. More people coming into the stadium, they end up paying for themselves over in the long term. It's not even smart business sense the other way. It's just not. I get it. He's a tightwad. He's cheap. He's an asshole. He's nothing about this guy I like.
So fucking being mid and still making a bunch of money because fucking the Bulls have been doing it for fucking ever.
The Bulls live in Chicago. But the Bulls definitely make more money when Michael Jordan is playing rather than when fucking Luol Deng is playing. He's a great player.
Let's not use the greatest player. Let's not use the greatest player as the fucking bar for playing for my team.
The Bulls were definitely better when they had Derrick Rose in that MVP season. They were definitely making more money than when it wasn't.
I mean, if that was true, then they would have tried to sign somebody to help him out at some point. He got
fucking blew out his ACL the next season.
They just never had anybody. They signed Luol Deng to help them out. Like,
What? So what's your point? Chicago makes more money by
they
sucking?
paid
That
Patrick
couldn't be further
fucking
from the
Williams.
truth.
There's got to
Huh?
be some credence to it. Otherwise, the Bulls would have chosen a path to go before this year. Because for the past like 5 years, they were a 500 team. Like,
So
if you
you
wanted to
think
be
this is
good,
like?
if you wanted to be good, you would have tanked for a year, got a good pick, and then been good and made more money that way.
So you think that this is just brilliant business by this guy?
I say it's brilliant, but I said there has to be some credence to it because like the other teams have been doing it forever.
Oh,
How many
like?
teams, like the Utah Jazz? Like the Utah Jazz are always either like mid or bad every year. Like, you're saying they don't have money to sign somebody to come play for them?
I mean, that's not true, right? They drafted Donovan Mitchell and they have Rudy Gobert, and they went to multiple playoffs with them, and then they sucked for a few years, and now they're projected to take a huge leap in the next season.
Yeah.
Their tanking was a choice, but it had a vision. There is no vision. They have their coach, Steve. They've had him for 4 years. Like, the coach is not the piece that's missing. That's actually like a foundational piece you have to have in order to like flesh out the rest of the plan.
I'm not saying they shouldn't have signed Thiago Splitter. They should have signed Thiago Splitter and kept him. But I'm just saying, like, this owner obviously wants to be mid. Like, he doesn't care about winning. Like, so that like owners don't do that shit unless it's making them money. Like, if he was losing
they're
money,
gonna make money.
if he was gonna lose money by not signing Thiago Splitter and signing good players to like max contracts, then he wouldn't do it.
I mean, I get it, but Steve, they're making money. He wouldn't have bought the asset if he thought it wasn't going to make money, even when it was bad. Like, he wouldn't have bought. This is a luxury asset that he's choosing to invest on. You know, this is like you're gonna meet your green every year just by being in the league and the league going up and TV. Like, you're just gonna make your nut.
That's not true because the New Orleans got bought by the league because they went bankrupt.
Okay, fair, but that is not. We're at a different era of the sport right now, and also.
So if this is just gonna make me money, without me having to put any effort into it, then why am I gonna put any effort into it? Like,
well, he's putting too much effort in. He's trying to fucking.
No, he's not. He just said, "Hey, we're not gonna." He's not putting any effort. He said, "Hey, we're not gonna sign you. That's fine. Like, we're gonna find somebody that's cheaper than you." Like, that's
it's not that expensive.
I know it's not. I'm not saying he's right to do it, but I'm saying it doesn't take any effort to say, "Hey, we're not gonna sign you. We're gonna sign somebody cheaper." Like, hey, who's your assistant, Thiago? We're gonna sign him. Like.
I mean, I don't believe there's just no credence.
Well, like you said, like they're gonna make money fucking anyways. So like, why am I gonna like put all my effort into this if I'm gonna get paid anyways?
I tell you what, Steve. I think it is because maybe you're right in the short term. Like, I don't think this guy has intentions of owning this team very long. He's not gonna be the next Paul Allen. I don't think. Right? That's his name, the former owner.
I have no idea. I know the Reinsdorf owned the Bulls forever, and after they got rid of everybody, they were mid forever.
Well, right, but this is like the Wick owned it for a long time, right? How long did Wick own it for? Since the 90s?
His dad owned it too, so I think it was like, it's Boston's also weird because it's a conglomerate of people that own it.
I mean, I feel like every sports deal is like that now. Like the Timberwolves are just they got bought by, you get capital from everywhere to afford, because the prices are so high for this luxury assets. That's how you get the capital to afford to buy this thing.
Yeah, there's always gonna be a
not many people just have
dudes.
$6 billion just to throw at a sports team. But like, look at the Grossbacks had intention to own this team for a long time. One, because they're fans, like. Right, they're fans, and they owned it for a long time. And look how much they bought it for, and look how much they sold it for. Now that's an ROI where they invested in the asset over the course of 30 years, multiple times, and the price. I mean, the amount of money they made, it sold for $6 billion. It set the market at the time, and they didn't buy it for that price. And that amount of money takes time and effort to build. I don't think this guy has like an intention to do that. I mean, I can't imagine this.
No.
You don't endear yourself to the fan base, one, and like that's gonna rub you the wrong way. Just look at what John Henry's done to ruin the first 20 years of him owning the team. Essentially, look at what he's done in the past 6 that has ruined his reputation with the team. So you're not gonna endear yourself. and that can't be
Love it.
fun. But also, like, but then again, what's his end game? Maybe to hold the asset and maybe just earn the basic income off of this asset that's only gonna make you money, even if it sucks.
That's what
But
I'm saying.
don't like go into the, don't go into the red one year where your ROI isn't gonna be where you want it to be.
That's what I'm saying. That's like what he's doing. He's probably taking the money he's making off the Trailblazers and investing it in something else that he's more passionate about, or just making him more money that he doesn't have to put as much effort into. Because it's not hard to put effort into a basketball team and like be decent, like be a playoff.
Just open
team.
up your pocketbooks. There's a plethora of players. Like, the player pool has never been as better.
Sign Thiago Splitter. Like you have a good team this year. Did they make the play-in this year? Like they're gonna be a playoff team next year probably if they continue on the trajectory that they're on. Yeah, they were in the playoffs this year because they played against the Spurs.
They were in the playoffs this year. Yeah.
Yeah. So
your question was, did they make the play-in? And I don't remember if they won via play-in. I think they might have
faced the
been
2 seed, so they must have.
Yeah, I was just to say they must have just won that first game.
Yeah.
But
so like you made the playoffs this year. Like signing another free agent, like it's not that hard to like continue this forward momentum. Obviously, this guy just doesn't care. He just wants to make the base off of whatever it is. Like, hey, we're gonna make the playoffs again next year, no matter who the coach is. Apparently, so.
I know, but that almost where it feels like Silver and the rest of the owners have to come in and be like, we got to make sure who we're selling to here, because this is not great for the league to roll out. It's not great for the league to roll out a shit team every single year. It's not. That makes people not want to watch.
If that was the case, I mean, look at the teams at the bottom of the league every year. Like they would have made those guys sell too. But
for whatever reason,
the billionaire boys club over here, they're never gonna fucking vote a guy out unless they do something like.
But the Kings guy is an actual Vivek. He's actually a fan of the team. He owns it out of a passion project. Like, for sure, he's not. He will invest money. Yeah, he tries. He's just fucking awful.
Like, it's embarrassing that he's trying, and this fucking guy for the Trailblazers is basically like, "Fuck off! I don't care about this." And the like, for sure, but like they're just never gonna make any of these other owners sell though. Like unless you do something.
No, you can't. You can't make them sell.
They're never gonna make them sell.
You can't. You can't make them sell. Donald Sterling was forced to sell. Like there's powers to do that.
Like heinous to do that though, and like
this is pretty heinous, man.
There has to be like a vote from all the other owners to make them sell too. Like it's not just Silver saying he has to sell.
To turn a team, which by the way is like I imagine they absorbed all of the Seattle Supersonics fans when they moved, but it's kind of a big market. Like it's a medium-sized market, right? Like the Oregon, Washington area.
There's not a lot else to do out there.
Well, right. But so like, and the fans are diehard. Like, I fucking lost my point.
Like he should be pushing for this. Like Silver should be.
Yes.
Hey, get on your fucking horse and do something about this, but they just never will because at the end of the day, like Silver works for them. Like they don't work for Silver. Like his job is to make them money. So if he decides,
listen, guys,
hey, figure it the fuck out, they're gonna be like, hey, you figure it the fuck out somewhere else. Like we don't.
Guys, we have the Pelicans and we have the Kings here already. And listen, it's not because these guys are negligent. It's just they're bad at their jobs. You haven't proven to be bad at your job yet. You're just being negligent by not signing a coach who took a middling team in the middle of a crisis to the playoffs. Like the Trailblazers, I had no expectations to be as good as they were, and they ended up being better.
Phillips got fired after one game. He got arrested. Like Taylor Splitter coached 81 games, like without having any like lead up and getting ready for the season. Like it was just like, oh, hey, guess what? On Tuesday you're coaching because Phillips is in the back of a squad car on his way to fucking LaGuardia.
And he took an okay team to the playoffs, which is an accomplishment. But then he got his shit pushed into the playoffs, which proves that this team probably shouldn't have been a playoff team, except for the fact that the coach was able to maximize the talent on the roster, and you're not going to pay him. That's negligent.
To be fair, though, they did get their shit pushed in because it was the Spurs. Like
you're not good enough to compete at that level.
You went up against a team that made the NBA Finals, though, and was like dominant. and like beat the defending champions this year. Like they were, it wasn't like they got to the fucking playoffs.
Steve,
they made the play-in and they got fucking smashed by like the Jazz or something like that in the 8th seed. Like,
I hear you, but that's my point is that they're not a playoff team to begin with.
I am with you. They're a playoff team, but they're not at the echelon to compete in the playoffs. Like they can make anything else, but they're not there to compete yet.
They could have played the Lakers and probably got their shit pushed in, badly as well. Like they could have played probably any other team in the conference.
I think,
and that goes to prove that how good of a job the splitter was throughout the regular season. And it's just like,
it's complete negligence to not like re-sign that guy. That's like the easiest like thing you could have done.
It makes no sense. It makes no basketball sense to not pay him.
I think he's just a new age businessman. He thinks he's a genius and he's trying to like outsmart basketball. And I think it's going to go poorly. Like he's just trying to cut corners. Yeah. Like it's almost like these, like you almost see it all the time now with all these like AI companies being like, oh yeah, we just cut our HR out. Like I could see him doing something like that, being like, we just filled these human roles with AI. Like this totally a thing he could do.
100% he's paying for an enterprise cloud account and he's paying every single fee and he's cutting entire departments across the probably across all his ventures. 100%. He's like, the computer does an okay enough job. Get rid of it. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's really annoying when it comes to sports. We see this all the time with companies, but with sports, it's just especially annoying.
And we're over here complaining about, we might get a top 4 player for our top 15 player. Oh, it sucks. At least either way, we're going to be, Chisholm is taking the hit. Yeah, Chisholm is taking the hit financially, even if we keep him. But like, at least it's for a winning purpose. Yeah, like you said, we're going to have a chance at winning. This is just, must be terrible.
There's a lot of fan bases that I feel bad for.
Yeah. Speaking of feeling bad for fan bases, let's jump into our movie talk I'm in our fan base.
I didn't feel bad for theirs, to be honest, during that, considering the time.
Although I imagine the things that were getting yelled over the fucking glass at those fucking players on the ice. Like,
I mean,
that time
I kind of felt
history.
I feel bad for the Russians a bit on that because, like one of them was like, you suck so bad, the U.S.S.R. government's going to have your family killed. It's like, I feel like that coach, when he looked over at
Herb Brooks.
Herb Brooks, it was like a, help me, like a call 911.
He's looking at him like,
fuck me.
Like, you just
signed my death warrant, you asshole. Yeah. So we watched Miracle. From 2004, Disney sports movies, the one that sort of ushered in this new era of Disney sports films that dominated the mid to late 2000s. This probably being the best of them. Starring Kurt Russell as Herb Brooks. Obviously, it tells the story of the 1980s U.S. men's national hockey team playing against the U.S.S.R. and other European nations in the 1980 Lake Placid Olympics. The Miracle on Ice. One of the greatest, if not the greatest, sporting moment in American history, besides maybe Jesse Owens in the 1932 Olympics. One of the best moments in sports history, just period. Kurt Russell as Herb Brooks, the head coach. Patricia Clarkson as Patty Brooks, his wife. Noah Emmerich as Craig Patrick. Eddie Cahill as Jim Craig. Patrick O'Brien Dempsey as Mike Eruzione. Noah Emmerich as the assistant head coach. I just said that. Yeah, Noah Emmerich. Great performance by him. Anyways, there's not really many actors in this film because they used hockey players.
Yep, hockey players and like kind of B-list actors that just happen to be good at hockey. Like Eddie Cahill was like, he was a guy who was on Friends for like 7 episodes. Like dated Rachel in Friends for a few episodes. Like he had some acting chops. I feel like that's how he got the goalie. Because the goalie seemed like getting more lines than anybody in the film. Out of all the players, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, he was like probably one of the most memorable players from a very memorable team. So, like, he obviously deserved a guy who was sort of an actor to play him,
Yeah, no, I agree though. Like with the whole like the them being pretty good on the ice and it looking realistic. Like I've not watched many hockey movies. I can compare it easily when I watch basketball movies, but it did feel like this has to be like up there when it comes to like quality of the actual performance in the game.
Absolutely. This is definitely one of the best sports films in terms of the quality of the sports being played. It's not fucking Teen Wolf like we watched.
Yeah.
it's
Well, the beauty of hockey is that they all got helmets on and everything, so like you can hide like if that's actually him playing. And I was like, hey, that guy's kind of the same size and he can skate really good, so we're just gonna have you skate around with his jersey on.
And they did that with the Craig scenes. They had an actual hockey guy, like
an actual
when they were
goalie.
playing on the ice. Yeah, they had an actual hockey player in the mask because you can't see the face, but you thought it was the guy the whole
So
time.
funny that they gave fucking Jim Craig such a crazy Boston accent, and he's from fucking Easton. Like, it's not even from anywhere close to Boston.
The
You would have
O'Callahan
thought
kid.
that he would have fucking grown up like dead center DTX, like fucking like.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The actor who played O'Callahan, who said he's from the player, I forget, O'Callahan was from Winthrop, Mass. Like he was supposed to, like he makes sense for having it really heavy. Although I
No,
thought his accent,
Uzioni was from Winthrop, Mass. O'Callahan
oh,
was from like
Dorchester.
Dorchester. No,
Yeah.
Charlestown, maybe.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
well, I
right.
remember that part because everything was in a Boston accent, and they said Charlestown. I was like,
Yeah, that's
really?
like
That's where you
you
lost the
lost
accent.
it.
Like that's where you're supposed to slam that fucker.
Yeah. Charleston.
Yeah, man. I mean, the story's obviously it's an all-time sports story, so it's hard. The drama's built in. It's one of the most epic moments. I mean, it's okay as a movie. Like I feel when it tries to be a movie, like when he's trying to like they're foisting drama between the wife and Kurt Russell's character. It's like, what are we
Fucking
doing here?
hated that part.
Yeah, what are we
Honestly, like
doing here?
all those parts, like they just killed the fucking movie for me. Like, I'm sorry, I'm here to watch the fucking hockey. Like, rest in peace to Herb Brooks, but like, dog, I don't care about him and his wife's relationship when I'm watching this movie. Like, I'm
Well,
here to
there's
some hockey. I was more interested in the relationship between the hockey players, and we got fucking none of that the whole movie.
yeah. I mean, the fact of the matter is like the guy's just not that interesting of a guy. The players didn't love him that much. He was a ball buster. He's just a great coach, and he had a vision for this team, and he could accomplish the almost impossible. But there's not really much of a, it's not like he's battling an addiction on the side, or there's not like a real life something there that is a compelling narrative, at least. Yeah, he's not home as much because he's,
Coaching
working.
the USA Olympic hockey team. Like, hey, sorry. Like, yeah, you probably should have that conversation with your wife, but you should probably stop being mad at you all the time about it because, like, that's just your job. Like,
Yeah.
it's one winter. Like, I don't know. It was also
I
like,
just want the guy who played Jack. Go ahead.
it was also like, his accent would come in and out on the fucking movie too. Like sometimes you'd hear a heavy fucking Minnesota accent, and then all of a sudden, like he just wouldn't have an accent. That was driving me crazy. And I wanted to hear like more stories about the players. Like Mike Eruzione scores a goal to win them the fucking championship. He's the captain. Like they just announced that at one point. Like, oh, Mike Eruzione is the captain for his
Yeah.
what he's done on and off the ice. It's like, all right, well, like, I would like to hear about like maybe get him up there to like yelling at the guys to pick it up at fucking practice or like anything. Like it was just kind of like pulled down by them trying to find drama in his like relationship at home. It was like there's enough drama in this movie. I don't need a cutaway to him and his wife arguing over at supper because Carter's talking about not fucking having the games. Like I don't know. It was a lot.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's not the most interesting story about The Blind Side is not just the Michael Orr, it's the stuff that came out after. That's the most controversial stuff. But hey, listen, it's a good movie. It's got a good performance in it, and it's about it's a really good sports story. So it deserves to be told. I feel like it's that. This is that. Russell is great in the film. He's just great. Everybody else is when they're acting is bad, but on the ice they're fantastic because they're actually really good. And the story is the story. It's good. It deserved it. I just don't think there's much of a it's not really much of a rewatchable. It's a 2.5 hour almost story about hockey.
Yeah.
You could have wrapped this up a little bit quicker.
Yeah, this one, you can just watch the footage on YouTube too. Like if you want to watch the
Yeah.
actual like game and celebration.
And
Yeah,
some,
and that's
like,
what
the celebrating on the ice stuff was like also driving me crazy too. Like they would score a goal and the whole team would get off the bench to go celebrate. And it's like that's not how that fucking works. Like that's a penalty. Like every fucking time that the whole team gets off the bench. Like it's not like they scored the winning goal and everybody got off the bench. It was like, oh, we tied the game at 2 in the second period. Everybody get off the bench and go celebrate in the opposite corner. It's like what are we doing?
Yeah. I want to talk. We were talking about the O'Callahan, Jack O'Callahan's character. The actor who played him, Michael Mantenuto, rest in peace. After this movie came out, he went and served in the U.S. Army, and he fought ISIS and all that. Came back and never really found back in acting. He ended up taking his own life. So depressing story. But that guy, I mean, he's one of the brightest parts of this film, acting wise. Like I really liked it. I thought he had a great performance as O'Callahan as a fireball. Albeit the accent going in and out sometimes. But yeah, R.I.P. man. I mean, anything else you want to talk about with this film? Anything stick out to you? What's your favorite scene?
I really could have chopped a lot of fucking meat off the bones on this one. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
One of my scenes I liked was like his Moneyball vibes in the beginning, being like, no, I'm picking the players that are right for the team, not the best players. Like that was interesting. Because I really didn't know much about all that. And then like the games itself were awesome too, but they're kind of just recreations of real life.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. It's just the best narrative part about this, the best story part of this scene, and the best story scene in this film is when he sits I forget the player's name, and he has to cut him from the team.
Ralph Cox.
Yeah. And it's because, and it was an interesting piece, it was sort of slow rolls up that it turns out that Kurt Russell's character, I forget his name. What's the guy that coaches his name?
Brooks.
Herb Brooks was the final cut for the team that was the last team to win the gold. That's like the most compelling narrative, and I thought that was actually a great scene in the film and Russell carries it because he has like he's showing actual pain there and making a hard choice. But the other best scene is definitely the again scene.
Bag skate.
Yeah, if you ever fucked up in practice, or if you got your ass kicked the week before, you just knew that the next practice was gonna blow.
Basketball,
and we all had that feeling.
God, they'd just make us run until we puked after a bad showing in basketball.
Yeah, that's just weird. That's like just a weird thing coaches want to do to you. Is like just fucking. One of you's throwing up, and then we'll go home.
Basically, it was usually me. I run until I puke.
Just skate you until fucking one of you says you're gonna play for Team USA.
Yeah, and that's all he needed to hear.
That was so fucking dumb too. Like in the first time he asked all the guys, and they're like, "Oh, I play for Minnesota." It's like, you're trying out for a fucking team. Just tell me you play for the team you're trying out for. Like it's not that fucking hard. You're trying to play for the fucking country. Like how dumb could you be?
It took a long time.
We're trying out at that time, right? Like they weren't technically playing.
Yeah, everybody's trying out. The tryout lasted 7 months or something like that until they finally cut the last guy. Which always confused me because like they cut him, but then the other guy got hurt. It's like you can't bring a reserve to play. Like I don't.
The weirdest part about this story to me, in terms of the historical aspect, is just how little of NHL careers these guys had. Craig obviously went on to play. A few of them.
Ruzioni played for a little bit too, I think.
Silk did too, right?
Mm-hmm. A lot of the guys, like a lot of stars will play, but it was
didn't
back when they took college players to play in the Olympics. They didn't take fucking professionals or top guys like that. And it was also
is that true? Is that true though? They didn't do that always, right? Like I thought the reason why this team stood out was that this was he didn't want the best to come play, like the players, because they had already got embarrassed.
He picked out the guys that would build the team correctly so that they could win. Yeah, that's how he did it. Yeah, for sure. But
so, does that mean that he excluded?
He did, because like if you look, like the kid that came back and played for him, like towards the end when he was trying to like piss them off and get them to like all come together. Like, remember towards the end they pull the other kid in and the kid was like dominating him.
Yeah.
And like then they sent him home, which was another weird thing. Was like Coach Herb Brooks was all about like, oh, I'm gonna run you until your legs don't work anymore, and who gives a shit? Like, we're not family. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not your friend. Like, we're here to win. And then all of a sudden, like, they're like, oh, but we're a family. That's why you shouldn't have this other guy coming in here. And he's like, yeah, you're right. We shouldn't. Yeah, no, for sure. Like, like this kid was kicking the shit out of you guys. Like, you guys are thinking about fucking benching your goaltender that you've been running for the last 6 months, and like now all of a sudden you're like, oh, they said we're a family, so I guess we're gonna go to Lake Placid as a family.
I think that's another instance of, because the another scene that was completely fabricated was the Christmas party scene when they, Herb never spent Christmas with the players. Like, he just didn't do that. Like the real life story is that this guy was like a real life dickhead, and he would cut you if he didn't think you were, whatever, up to his snuff. And that's probably where it's like, it is just for a movie that he's like, we're family now, coach. Whereas real life, that conversation never happened.
That's the Disney side of everything.
Yeah.
Like, there's also like some other story things that weren't like true in the movie too. Like, Mike Eruzione was never there for that bag skate. Like, when they had him running again and again, like Eruzione was never there for that. Like, somehow like he got hurt in that game or something like that, and then he just never came back out to the skate for some reason. I don't know. Like, I heard him tell a story about that. Like, there's a lot of odd things that just weren't true. Another really weird thing that they did in this movie was, did you guys watch the credits when they played Dream On by Aerosmith?
No, I turned it
No, I don't
off.
So.
I watched it, and they like showed like they showed like the picture of the guy acting or whatever, and like who he was and like who he was playing in the movie. And they said like what that person was doing.
Oh yeah, what they went on to do. Most of them were in capital, like venture capital.
It was such a weird fucking way to end it. Like, I mean, the last guy on the list was like working on getting his bachelor's degree or something like that. And it's like, what? Why is this like a part of the movie? Like, I don't. Like, it was I think like it just goes to like what was it, like Coach Carter at the end when like the fucking fades to black and it's like, oh, this guy went on to play here and this guy went on to like own a bookstore or something. Like,
yeah, but I mean,
but it was like
even Friday Night Lights does that at the end, and it works. Like, it's a good ending to the movie. Like,
I just don't think it works when I'm looking at like, oh, this guy like owns a real estate business in Minnesota, and this guy is like this guy coaches Minnesota women's hockey, and this guy is a fucking a venture capitalist in Massachusetts. It's like, well, all right.
But I think that goes to show they're playing on the amateur aspect. Like, these guys were not NHL players. These guys were college players who were good in college, and they were, hustlers. I think that's why they put it there. And in that sense, I kind of like it. Like, none of these guys are the head coach of the Bruins because they weren't good enough, but they were good enough together for this moment. And that kind of plays on that. And in a more futile sense, Friday Night Lights does this, but it goes to show you that this failure was a moment in their lives that is going to be the biggest moment of it. Like, this is why it shows the camaraderie of the moment and the meaning of the moment.
I'm glad you explained it to me, because I was watching the end of that and I was like, I don't know. This is weird. And it was also, one thing that made it also probably feel a little bit weirder was that like we never really had a connection with any of the players. Like, none of the players talked enough for me to have a connection with them to like care about what they did afterwards. But I do see where they were coming from now that you explain it that way. Of like,
it's also funny that because they're all white guys, they're all in like venture capital firms, but in like Friday Night Lights, they're like, this guy works at a convenience store. It's because they're black and Hispanic. Like, they don't have the equal opportunities, I would say, as the white guys who are from Milwaukee and Boston, as opposed to Permian, Texas. That's a commentary on the economic status and systematic racism in the American economy. Rate it. Out of 5 stars.
I mean, I gave it about a 3. I mean, I don't think it's okay. I mean, it's a Disney movie, so it's obviously going to be well done, but like, there's not really a rewatchability to this movie, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no part
Can I
that
go?
really like drew me in and was like, oh, this is amazing. Like maybe it's because I already knew how the ending was and everything, and there was no part that really like made you laugh or like there's no peak in my emotion for like this whole movie.
Yeah. I think I'd give it like a 2.5 because they didn't necessarily make like because it's a real story that's already like so awesome, and I feel like they didn't really like make it better.
Yeah.
So
This movie. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
yeah, no, I was just gonna say yeah. So like I can't really rank it too high. Like it wasn't like the enjoyable parts are also enjoyable when you just like watch the actual tournament.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, this movie earns like the respect of the source material. Like it lives up to it. It's not a great film.
It leans on it, I would say, more than it lives up
Yeah,
to
of
it.
course. Of course. But it is a good performance by Russell. It's an entertaining movie for what it is. There's good performances by non-actors, and the hockey's really good. There's really good aspects of this film. It's not Moneyball. It's not Friday Night Lights. It's not those movies where there's just an excellent narrative take on the story and incredibly acted as well and shot and amazing as well. It's for what this is, it's fine. It earns it. It earns its keep. I understand why a lot of people love it. It's
Definitely
2.5
understand why.
stars.
I definitely understand why like the puckheads love it. Like it's
I mean,
classic
this movie dominated Pembroke High School.
for sure.
Yeah.
2.5 stars. No rewatchability.
It's also funny to look back at like what Disney was doing in 2004 and like what they were getting away with. Like they were talking about like, oh, like which one of these girls are you gonna take home tonight, and like one of them got like gifted panties at like fucking Christmas. It
Oh
was
yeah,
like, and Disney wouldn't go anywhere fucking near that now.
but they also didn't even like you're telling me this is a game about full of hockey players, like real life hockey players, and they're not swearing.
Yeah, they're not
Like
ripping
not
the shit out of
once.
each other. They're not hacking the shit out of each other and bleeding every fucking game. Like,
Herb Brook, a dickhead in real life and in the movie, didn't say. I think he called somebody a candy ass.
yeah, that got him all
That
riled
was
up.
it.
That was what
Yeah.
like fucking got him over the tipping point for that game, was called him a candy ass. Like, really?
Oh man, yeah, but it's Disney, bro. That's what it is. That's Miracle. That's Miracle.
That was a movie.
Next week's film, Marty Supreme. I mean, we got to do it for New York and Champions, and we're continuing on Champions Month here. So,
I'm excited.
Timothy Chalamet, Benny Safdie.
I've never seen it. Both Safdie was at the game too. Like the two of them, I think. So it just kind of fitting that the 2 stars were all over the court for the celebration.
It's
One
a
of the
uniquely New York film, and it covers, the source
Tyler, the
material.
creator too. And
I didn't even know that. That's funny.
Oh yeah, he's actually good in it. Very good.
Who's the chick he's trying to?
I forget her name. I knew you were gonna ask me that too. I should have looked it up.
Oh, she's the one from Iron Man. Everybody.
Oh, it's Gwyneth Paltrow. I thought you were talking about no. Gwyneth Paltrow is in it. Yes.
Yeah, that's the one clip that I've seen from this that was like, oh, that's fucking hilarious that he would.
So is Mr. Wonderful. Kevin Brennan. Is that his name? Kevin.
Oh yeah, that
Kevin O'Leary.
Oh, Larry. Yeah.
I'll fucking take it. And then
He's actually good in it.
yeah, it's gonna be a good movie. This is a A24 film, right?
It's fantastic. Yes. Came out
Right,
last
so-
year. Marty Supreme.
We've all seen Obsession now, right?
Mhm.
I've been just fucking my whole fucking TikTok feed and everything's been Obsession because I watched it and now I'm fucking drawn in like a motherfucker with all the fucking little shit in that movie. If you had to give
Go
me a
ahead.
quick letterbox on that one, what do you got?
Check one. I had no idea I gave it.
Honestly, it has to be 4 or above.
That's right. It's 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably 4, 4.2, something like that.
Yeah,
It's
I would have given that like a 4.5. I thought that movie was great. I hate horror movies, and I thought that movie was great.
it is great. I mean, no matter what, it's a great film. Jesus Christ, I forget his name now too. I'm beat. The
Curry.
director.
Curry Barker.
Curry Barker, yeah, 26 years old, to have that much command of the film. really wonderkin type shit. And then Kane Parsons, the guy who did Backrooms, another A24 banger.
I haven't seen
He's
that yet.
like 21 years old. Like he's legitimately in his early 20s, and that film is spectacular too. It's like there's a new generation of horror directors. Curry Barker's going to do the next Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. Like there's a lot of promise, and Obsession was, I mean, what can you say? It's damn near perfect horror film.
I mean, Indy
It's very
Navarrete.
unsettling.
That was it, Indy Navarrete or Navarrete. I think is how you say his
Navarrete.
name.
Yeah, she's
And
gonna be everywhere.
Michael Johnston, I think, is the guy's name who plays Bear. Like, unbelievable acting job by both of them. Like, some of the shit that they pulled off in that movie, like the single shot at the end in the bathroom when you see like all the emotions going through his face and everything. And spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't seen it yet, when he does take the pills at the end and he decides to kill himself. I saw an interview when Kerry Barker said that was like that actor's idea. Like being like, all right, like this kid would never actually like go through with it. Like he would try and pussy out at the last second. Like that's just who he is. So like that was how that kind of ending came to be the way it was.
And that's what I mean. It's like, how do you have, I don't think I could do that now, and I'm 33, and to have that much control of your narrative and choices and
And still being open to hearing other things and like working with those things and like letting actors act, even if they're not crazy experienced. Like none of these actors in this movie were that experienced.
It's a weird like conflux of things. It's like a star making performance from Navarrete met with like a star directing performance by Curry Barker. That you only see, like, honestly, the last time I saw it was Hereditary, and that was U.S.S.R, and that was his explosion on the scene, where it's like, how do you have that much command that young to create a feeling in a film that maybe has never been felt before, but hasn't been felt in a very long time. It's just exceptional stuff. Yeah.
No,
I mean,
horror's on a run.
the movie got made for $750,000, right?
Yeah,
and
it's over $150 million now, I think, worldwide.
Yeah, it's literally the best thing about these two films, Backrooms and Obsession, because I can't talk about one without the other. They came out so close to each other, and they're both genre films, and they're exceptional. And the fact that their ROIs are so high is like, there's more of this coming. There's more of this coming. And that's the shit I love. That's how you get your Craigers. That's how you get your Astors, your Jordan Peels. That's how you get there. And I love the genre. I know you don't love horror movies, but it's my favorite genre. So that's
I enjoy horror movies that like this one, like a Midsummer, The Ritual. I think we watched stuff like that. That's like kind of makes you think, but it's not like a bunch of jump scares. And I'm just gonna rely on like some
it's
kind
a
of
sense of perpetual dread. Like,
yeah, like there's a
the bad shit's
story that's
happening and it's
like
getting worse.
yeah, like there's a story that's dragging me in deeper and deeper as I watch this. Like even like a Sinners. Sinners isn't really even a horror movie, but it's drags you in and
Categorically, at least.
yeah, categorically it would be, but I mean, I would put it in the same horror movie realm as like a Obsession or a Midsummer, but it's still amazing in its own way because it's a story that's like the story has to be there for it to work. Like I don't need like crazy fucking CGI monsters and shit like that and jump scares. Like I need like a story that I can go with. You know, like Insidious just doesn't do it for me. Like all like
Insidious, the first one, was genuinely a good horror film, but the story has gone, it's still going. It's like, I don't even know where we're at. We jumped the shark with that, like, James Wan-verse, Patrick Wilson verse. We've jumped the shark with it. But it's, just an aside, I almost don't even look at, my God, Sinners, like the rest of these. Sinners is like, that's a Pantheon film. It's a career achievement. I mean, all these other ones are career achievements, but I do think that Curry Barker's best work is coming. I think that Sinners is maybe like we're at the pinnacle of Coogler and Michael B. And the story is so like it sticks with you that it's just like a different film.
Yeah.
Than the other ones. Like, I don't know if Obsession will be anybody's favorite film 10 years from now. I know Sinners will probably be at least one person's favorite film 10 years from now. And that shit matters.
I could see Obsession being people's favorite films down the line. Like,
yeah.
This is...
If you're like a genre head, like, definitely.
Even just like the storyline, I like the different, like, how many different ways you can look at the story. And like all like the little things that are in that movie, like the clock on that first night going from midnight to 16:55, like weird shit like that. Like I noticed that when I watched it in the theaters, but I forgot about it, and I saw somebody broke it down. It was like 16:55 was the first year that somebody was legally owned as a slave or something like that.
That's almost where it's like it's so niche that I don't feel like that's a real thing. Like he didn't.
Like why else would he change the clock to 16:55? You know what I mean? Like, and that wasn't by accident. Like the clock doesn't go to 16:55 usually. Like you have to buy a specific clock for that.
I see.
It's
not really a clock, gentlemen.
I really enjoyed that movie. So sorry, I just had to get you guys' pick your brains about that.
I could do this all day. I mean, literally, but I actually, I know you guys are tired and hungry. So I'll let you guys go. You got to be up for work in an hour.
Yeah, I got to go to work at midnight tonight, so.
That's it, boys. Go see these films. Every single one we mentioned. Maybe not The Blind Side.
Yeah. They have enough money.
Yeah, this has been the Banner Report. Congratulations, New York. Marty Supreme next week for Champions Month. That's been it from the boys. Please, JB, don't go.
Yeah, just want this trade shit to end.
All right. Bye, folks.
Peace.